Alrighty, so we are back for a late night stream with some Hello Girl. I'm kind of hoping we can beat this today. However, I do not know how much we have left in it. But I'm excited to get back into this game. I've been waiting to play this since I last streamed it. 2103 is more recent than 2035. Oh, do you want to save my progress? No, it's fine. Hey Charles, welcome to the stream, buddy. How you doing today? I'd been up since early in the morning, and I had already gotten dressed. Today I won't be caught off guard. A good second impression is just as important as the first. That means that you have consistency. Whether that is good or bad consistency, well, that's in the eye of the beholder. I take pride in mine regardless. I stand by the entrance, waiting for their truck to roll up the driveway. I peek out the window every once in a while, but there's no sign of them yet. They never actually told me when they'd be here, beyond the vague early morning. Courier seems like they'd be punctual, though. They take their job more seriously than I think I ever could. I guess that's one difference between us. It doesn't take long until I start spinning up theories about what I would do if they didn't come. I'm not sure what I would do without the phone system to occupy my time. I'll probably just end up reading a book or something. I have a lot of them. I've read most of them already. But what would I do when I finish all my books? Eventually I'd run out of things to do. Maybe I'd pick up gardening. The yard's really no good for it, though. All overgrown and full of weeds. I actually don't know anything about gardening. Maybe there's a book on it. Maybe the library has one. I take a deep breath as I realize that I was starting to get a bit worked up. I don't think it would make a lot of sense for Courier to just not show up. Alkaline's a business after all. The droning of distant truck engine erases my worries. That's definitely them. You literally just woke up, Charles? What time is it over there? Courier, that was fast. Ah, ha ha ha, good morning. Good morning, Anna. Was the drive okay? Ah, yeah, it was fine. I drove a lot, especially in familiar places. Though, this is the first time I've been to this area. It's kind of in the way, isn't it? Yeah, it's quiet here. It's a nice change of pace. Phone exchanges are usually pretty busy places. I've never been to one that wasn't. Oh, is that bad? You seem to be doing well enough for nobody to complain. I'll take that as a compliment. I was worried that you would say something about me missing some. Sometimes I daydream when I work and I don't connect the calls in time. It can get a little boring, so I think about other things. Well, I just work on the lines. Any complaints would come from the HQ. Oh, I see. Do you think they would replace me if I did a bad job? I don't know, Anna. But do try and do your best, okay? People are depending on you. Okay. Courier looks around the room. That leads me on to, Courier rolls out a big sheet of paper on the table. It seems to be a copy of the one from yesterday, but with some additions. I've dressed up an itinerary for the repairs. I'll go over it with you. Before we start, would you like some coffee? Oh, that'd be great. Perfect. You seemed like the type. What's that supposed to mean? It's a good thing. 6 a.m. Charles, why are you awake at 6 a.m., my man? God damn, you got school today? I disappear into the kitchen to get the pot of coffee I prepared in anticipation of this event. I pour up two cute little porcelain cups and bring them back to the table. When I get back, Courier sitting on the floor looking at the blueprint on the table. I'm glad they're already feeling at home here. I place the cups down and take a seat next to them. Here you go. Courier takes the cup and sips it almost immediately. They make a funny face. I guess it's not very good. Sorry, it's ration coffee. It's fine. What coffee isn't? I guess that's true. Take a sip of my own coffee. I make no expression. This bitter taste has become ordinary to me. Have you always liked coffee? I still don't love the taste, but I find the routine of it comforting. You don't like it, so why do you drink it? I guess it makes me feel like an adult. Courier chuckles. So, timeline. It's a timeline now. I would start with the most important things first, the switches, but those are on special order. So I'll start with what I can do right now. The wiring I could do today. It's a bit of a mess from what I've seen, but I can get it done. I just nod quietly. I haven't seen the terminus yet. I wanted to get a look at it yesterday, but I didn't have the time. Terminus. Is that the big box outside? Yeah, that's the one. I'm surprised you know what it is. I guessed. Haha. We can take a look at that in a bit. Then there's the AW-1054 and the TW-44. They're big units, but they're not too complicated to wire up. They're already assembled too, so we should be able to get them up and running pretty quickly. We'll leave that for another day. We have to wait for them to be delivered anyways. That about covers it. It's a lot of work. Indeed, so let's get going. Oh, but first, Anna, would you mind helping me bring some stuff in? Okay, sure thing. What are we bringing in, I wonder? Ooh. I dropped the last bag of materials onto the floor, almost falling over. I don't think I was cut out for this kind of job. Courier carries in a box and spots me hunched over and sweating. Careful not to throw your back out. Courier smiles teasingly. They set the box down near the door to the basement. I decided to make a much-needed break and lay down next to the coffee table. Courier sits down next to me. They eye over some blueprints of the building. Station 45 East. Huh. They look at the wiring coming from the switchboards running along the ceiling and through the walls. Scratching their head, they stand up to study the area. I watch them trace the wires from one side of the room to the other, noticing the wire going to my bedroom. Not sure if you'd know anything, but I'm a little confused here about something. I sit up and face them. Would you happen to know why they rerouted the wires in this way? They put the wires from the switchboard to my bedroom and more wires going from one part of the building to another. Not really. Figures. Courier shrugs their chin, looking away, as if for an idea. They tuck some of the hair behind their ear and open the door to my bedroom. Here's some rattling from behind the wall as Courier starts pulling on some of the cords. The first time anyone else has been in my room. Since there was a little bit of storm last night, their boots are probably really muddy. The thought of having to clean up all that mud that's probably going to be being tracked all around my room. It's 1 week before I start school again, so I'm trying to start to get up when I usually leave school. Yeah, that's smart. God, I'm a lot smarter than when I was in school, to be honest with you. I make my way into my room. Courier already has their hands full of wires. Excuse me. Courier stops to listen. Miss Courier. They look a little caught off guard. It's Miss Courier. Miss Courier, can I ask you to please take your boots off before going into my bedroom? This is your... Courier turns around and notices the bed and dresser. Her mouth opens in surprise. Of course. I've never been to a telephone exchange that someone lives in. You'll have to forgive me. It's okay. Courier promptly takes off their boots and leaves them by the door. I'm a little embarrassed that I asked her to do that. Yeah, fair enough. I don't want to seem uppity or anything. I'm just a little particular about my room. If my room's messy, I feel like my mind is messy too. Stuff needs to be in the right place. Yeah, it's kind of like real life. I watch Courier continue to strip the wires from the walls. Little paint chips dance to the floor as the guts are spilled. I just sit in my bed, watching Courier work. I don't think this is something I can help with. This room has always been such a gentle and clean place, and now it feels defiled. I know it's just a room. I guess technically it's not even my room. It's Alkaline's property. All that's really on my mind right now is I have to clean up all this stuff, maybe paint over the walls again. I can't imagine sleeping in here with all this exposed wiring. Hey, Courier? Is this necessary? What, the wiring? I've just been thinking. Is this really something that needs to be done? Well, I wouldn't be doing my job otherwise, right? I mean, I guess, but I don't know. Couldn't you just say you did it? I could, but that'd be lying. I mean, I don't think anyone would know the difference. I would. I mean, I guess, but no, you're right. If I were in Courier's position, I'd probably do the same thing. I'd want to know that I did the job right. It's a little more complicated than you'd think. These old terminals are being decommissioned. Once we've switched out all of them, we're shutting down the old system. That also means we need to switch out the wiring. You don't want to lose access to your switchboard, right? No, of course not. It looks like things will be changing whether I want them to or not. Courier and I sit down at the table and I pour us some tea. A break seemed to be in order. I don't know if tea is her thing, but I figured I would change it up a bit. Give Courier a full sampler of the Anna experience. We sip in silence for a little while. Courier looks out the window, enjoying the view. Her usual job site probably isn't surrounded by this much nature. Courier sets her teacup down. These are some cute cups. I like the little flowers on them, right? They're my sister's set. She inherited them from our mother. Courier inspects the finely painted details. Her hand has a roughness completely different of that of the object she's embracing. You said your sister was the one who used to work here. If she's not here, where is she? Clara volunteered. She's a medic now, I think. I don't know if these things tend to change. Courier repeats the words back to me as if I said something odd. Do you mean like a promotion? Something like that? I don't know how the military works. Who does? I move to take another sip. Cicadas singing their usual song outside. So she's trusting you with the switchboards for now? When I was younger, I always wanted to be like her. I guess in a way, that did end up happening. I'm just happy I'm able to help her, keeping this place running. She'll be back soon, she told me in her last letter. I'm sure she will be. Kira takes a sip of her tea. You know, I've never met anyone else from Alkaline before. Is it a fun place to work? Fun? It has its fair share of enjoyable moments, I'd say. Maybe not the fun you're thinking of, though. It's fun to see the look on someone's face after I fix a problem of theirs, but sometimes the days are just much too long. Courier gives a distant stare, then down the rest of her tea. I do the same, trying to mimic her nonchalant ways. For a while, we just sit there in silence. The light streaming in from the window is filtered through the leaves of the trees outside. It's a nice day out, but the silence is broken by Courier clearing her throat. I look her way. Anna, are you close to your mother? Courier restlessly taps her finger on the table, a little taken aback by the sudden question. Huh? Did the documentation in the office say something about her? No, that's not why I'm asking. You talk about your sister a lot, but your family, you didn't mention them. Do they live far away? Oh, haha. My family, I don't think of them very often. You think I'm too young to be here on my own? Don't misunderstand. You're doing a great job. Courier looks away for a moment. Just, track it up to the innate curiosity of an engineer. Well, alright. Honestly speaking, I don't know where my family is. It was so long ago. Courier nods understandingly, balancing the empty cup in her hand. Me and Clara, we ran away from home when we were young. My voice peters out. The next sentence is not coming out. Even just that feels like saying too much. It doesn't mean a lot to me anymore. It's been this way for as long as I can remember. I don't know if I'd even recognize them if I saw them again. I see. The words weigh heavy on Courier, to judge from her expression. I wonder how I can lighten the mood. I don't want to make her uncomfortable. Maybe. We had this house, nestled at the foot of the canyon. Grasses grew tall there, and the sun would set behind the mountains. It got so dark at night. It was a big house, enough to fit brothers, sisters, and the whole extended family, but it was just us and our mother. We had inherited it from the family. Our grandmother was a wealthy woman. She must have had a big family of her own at the house like that. The house was all that was left of them. I wonder where they all went. Did you like that place? Yeah, it was big, old, and full of secrets. Unknown faces and the portraits on the walls. There were so many places to hide. It would always drive our mother crazy when she couldn't find us. Heh. I wouldn't soon see you hiding in a nook or cranny here. No, this house is too empty, too big. But what I liked most wasn't the house itself. Back then, we were the ones bringing groceries home, so trips out were common. I liked that drive. Grasses, the pelt of rain, long roads. I would often imagine myself running on the white fences that lined it. I guess all things considered, it was a good place. Ever write your mother? I don't look up, but I can feel the Courier's eyes on me. I don't have her address. I would be shocked if Clara ever wrote it down. I don't think she ever intended to go back. I wonder why. The day's work includes the Courier finishing the wiring on the first floor. That's a big milestone, she said. I helped her with the last few rooms because I couldn't stand milling about while someone else was working away in my home. I didn't do much except clean after her, but I think more than anything else she appreciated the company. Courier is surprising. She's a lot more talkative than I thought she would be initially. We ended up talking about all kinds of things. I guess she's just a little slow to warm up. Courier says her goodbyes, then took off for the night. My day isn't over yet, though. I decided it's probably a good time to head to the post office. Yo, we get back on the bike. Hey. As I come to the desk, Melior actually seems to be manning her post for once. She is hunched over, looking more bored than usual. She doesn't even notice me until I'm right in front of her. I knock on the desk and her eyes widen. She looks up and breaks into a wide smile, like she's reunited with a long-lost friend. Anna, did you see that fucked up dog? What? Did you see that fucked up looking dog outside? Come again? So there was this big hunk, and this dog was like cylindrical. I looked around, seeing no obvious signs of a fucked up dog. You should have been here for it, man. They tried to shut the dog up, but it just would not stop barking. Hilarious stuff. It ate a letter. None of yours, though. Not to worry, Miss Anna. Big sis Melior's got all of your mail. Without any further words from either of us, she immediately finds my mail bin, flicks through the various envelopes. She sets my mail down on the counter. She remembered my address this time. She's acting really strange today. She pushes her index finger together in a wavy motion as she waits for me to take the mail. I take the letters and file through them. Ads, flyers, utility bill, news. Join us in the great effort. Nothing interesting. Nothing I haven't already seen 1,000 iterations on. It's garbage. I opened up my purse and carefully put them in there. Of course, they go into the trash once I'm not in view of the postal worker. I just don't want her to take it personally. I push today's letter toward the Meliard as per usual. She doesn't immediately pick it up. Anyway, Anna, how come you're always sending these letters that are always addressed to the same name? Well, you know, we have different products too. Maybe you try a postcard sometime. Meliard cracks a smile. Why not a photograph of the coast? I recommend the one at the lighthouse. Try something different. Miller picks up my envelope and makes a stance. Thanks, miss. I'll keep that in mind. She has a letter into the outgoing mail sack. It gracefully lands in it, to my great surprise. I do wish she would be a bit more careful with my letters. I don't want them to get lost. Now that they're in the bag, though, I can't do anything about it. I'll leave it to the system to see that my letter gets to its destination. Can I trust the system? I don't know. Claire's not gotten back to me yet. Say, Milliard. Yeah? What happens to the letters that don't get delivered? She thinks for a moment. They get returned to the sender. What if it's a letter that's been sent to a right address, but the recipient isn't there to get it? The letter would be left in the mailbox until someone picks it up. What about a military letter? You have to ask the military about that. Right, thanks. She did her best. Huh? What were we talking about? Nothing. I'll see you. I've had enough of this. I turn around and take my leave. Goodbye, Milliard. Miss Milliard. Outside, I take a deep breath. No strange dogs in sight, something to be thankful for. I don't like animals very much. I sit down on my bike without feeling an immediate reason to leave. There's nothing waiting for me at home anyways. At times like this, I prefer to let my mind drift away. Distractions ease your worries. They make you forget for a little while. It's become my habit to spend some time here just sitting outside. I like it here. Maybe there's something alluring with the exterior of this building. It's been here longer than the great effort, longer than the military. It's even been here longer than I have. My hand traces the brick and mortar. It's a place that always been there for me, just like home. I find that comforting. A place can be a home, even if it's not somewhere you live. We would usually spend time here after our visits to town. Clara said she liked the lights in the evening. I've started to appreciate them too. Being in places that I spent time in with Clara makes me feel like she's still here with me. I wonder if she feels the same way, though I can't imagine she has too much to hold on to out there. Clara, hold on a little longer. Someday this will all just feel like a dream. Things will go back to how they used to be. I'm sure of it. My thinking is interrupted by a grumble in my stomach. I guess I haven't had anything to eat yet. I was swept up by the action of the day and forgot to take care of myself. I guess at home there is one thing waiting for me, a warm meal. I turn the key and kickstart the engine. I'm going home. Clara and I took the long drive to the city. I don't know what it is we came here to get, but I'm sure it's important. It's crowded, a sea of people. The bustle of the city is something I can never quite get used to. She tugs me along as we weave through the aisles of the department store, the clothing section. The racks of clothes seem much taller than normal. I can only see the ground and a labyrinth of coats surrounding me. Clara pulls me along as we skis through two tall racks. Halfway through, I loose her hand. I make it through, then look around. She's nowhere in sight. Clara? Clara? I stay put, though I just feel frozen in place, afraid that if I moved, we'd lose each other. Yeah, probably just another dream of hers. Which, her dreams tend to be quite sad. This morning, Courier helped herself inside the house. I was just in my morning gown, so I ran off embarrassed to get changed. I told her that I'd leave the door unlocked for her, but I ultimately forgot about the whole interaction come morning. We found ourselves sat down on the floor on the cushions of the main room and we enjoyed our new regular morning routine, drinking coffee in silence. Something felt unusual, or out of character about it. Courier is starting to feel more comfortable here, and I'm getting more used to her presence. It's not something I should get used to. Nothing is permanent, especially this. I pop open a can of tuna. It would go good on a sandwich, with some lettuce and tomato, maybe even some cream mixed in with the tuna. It's been a while since stuff like that was easily accessible. Kira seems to eat whatever I put in front of her happily. I find it admirable that she's not picky. She's like a dog in that way. Watching her pick up bits of tuna with her fork is pleasing, so I don't want to sully it with any ideas that life could be better. I was content with just watching her eat. I don't actually feel hungry at all. In fact, I was more full than I've felt in a long time. Courier has disturbed a stillness, one I didn't know existed until she was there to stir it, and in that stillness something is growing. My first instinct is I want to get rid of it, but I don't even know what that would look like. Maybe it's okay for things to just be what they are. Even knowing that I'll have to say goodbye to it all soon. Courier will probably find these observations strange, so I keep them to myself. She will finish her work and leave. I never deluded myself to thinking otherwise, but sometimes she looks at me and it feels like she already understands. We exchange no words, so how? Courier finishes eating, placing the tuna down, washing it with a big swig of coffee. I found the act quite reprehensible, but it's not my taste buds. I guess she's eager to work. I have to go pick up a package today. It'll be a few hours. The post office isn't so far away. I don't know why it would take so long. A few hours? Ah, it's at the depot. At base 8. Special order. Base 8. If I recall, your hotel is closer to the base than here. Why did you bother coming all this way then? Courier looks at me a bit surprised at my perception. Ah, so, two things. First, I need some lifting help. Those boxes are a little pain in the ass. I was hoping I could enlist you. I interject. I don't know if I'd be much help. I point to my skinny arms. Ah, don't worry, you'll be plenty. They're just hard to carry on your own, but they're mostly empty inside. Just bulk, you know? I don't mind, but if it's at base, can't the soldiers help you? Courier huffs. Have you ever met a soldier? Recall those military brats from the other day? I'm starting to see the angle. More trouble than it's worth, maybe. Right. So, are you up for it? I nod. So, what's the second thing? Courier pauses for a while. Anna? I want you to become an official employee of Alkaline. You've only been living under the guise of your own sister all this time, but obviously the person on that ID isn't you. But what if it was? If I work my magic right, I'll make sure that you get a proper ID and everything. You'll be a real employee. You'll be safer that way. These are uncertain times. I'm owed plenty of favors. It won't be a big deal at all. I blink at the courier, not sure what to say. Hammy, motherfucking Flummy, welcome to the stream, buddy. How you doing today? The fuck is this shit? Why does everyone have that reaction? Well, not everyone. Why do most people have the reaction when I play a game like this? This is a visual novel called Hello Girl. It's in a dystopian timeline. This girl on the right is the protagonist. She is bunny ear girl. She works at a phone operating kind of thing where she has to plug in direct calls. People can talk to each other. Currently, the base is under maintenance. So this girl on the left, this dog-looking girl, is the maintenance worker who is helping us fix up the place so we can go ahead and get it up and running into tip-top shape and be more modernized rather than the old equipment that we currently have. You might have bronchitis, okay? How did you get bronchitis? I believe a courier, not sure what to say. She can do that? She would do that for me? Why? Why would you go to your way to help me? I don't know. Why should I replace Clara? My sister will come back one day and then everything will be okay. Courier nods, closing her eyes, the way she does when she needs to think about something really hard. What if your sister doesn't come back? Something felt painful about how she phrased it. Please don't say things like that. I know she'll come back. I know she will. I just know. Clara will come back. Once this all blows over, she'll come back. Courier takes a sip of her coffee, seemingly a bigger swig than usual, to give herself time to think, perhaps. Okay. But if she doesn't, I should have something to fall back on. Courier is really persistent about this. I know she's just trying to be kind. It's just in case. I know it's just in case. I know she'll come back. I feel unable to say anything useful as a response. You don't have to decide now, but please make a decision by the time we get there. Okay. I try and shake the resentment that has been building up. It's a bad habit. Before we go, could I see your sister's employee card? You still have it, right? Her ID card? Yeah, she left it here. I nod and get up to fetch it. It's in Clara's room, in the drawer of her desk. I don't like going in there. It feels like I'm intruding, and it's the one place in the house that still smells like her. The door opens with a creak. This one I don't keep locked. I step inside and close it behind me. The room is dark in the day, with the curtains drawn. I always dreamed of Clara opening them up and letting the light in again. Until then, I leave them how she left them. I find that the room has built up a layer of dust. I don't touch it as I open the drawer. Clara Lapine. Her face smiles back at me from the card. A younger Clara, with a slightly different hairstyle. She also left some other things in the drawer. A few pens, a notebook, porcelain animal. I make sure to leave them how I found them. When would you be ready to leave? Courier's voice comes from the other side of the door. I raise mine to answer. I just need to get changed first. Actually, this room doesn't smell like Clara anymore at all. It just smells like dust. I step back outside, closing the door behind me. I pass the card to Courier and she looks it over. I look to the table to clean up dishes, only to find the Courier's already done so. I turn back around again to see Courier nodding to herself as she inspects the card. This will work. She passes it back to me. Oh, you don't have to clean up. You're our guest. We are technically co-workers. I should pull my own weight a little. Hemi said, I've been coughing non-fucking stop and it hurts. Damn. Also, they kicked me out of fucking work indefinitely till you get better. That sucks. So you're, I'm guessing, not getting paid due to that? Have you been to a doctor, Hammy? It'd be a great idea to go to a doctor, if you can afford it, that is, and, you know, get checked up. See if you have bronchitis or just like a really nasty cold or something. I don't know what the temperature is over there, but you're trying to tough it out? Well, I guess good luck with that, man. I would recommend going to a doctor if you actually get bronchitis, because that's an infection, I'm pretty sure. I lift the helmet out of the box in the back of the bike and put it on. The goggles hang on my neck. Courier, who had seemed to be walking toward her truck, turns back to me. You're gonna ride that thing there? I have expected her to berate me for leaving the keys in the ignition. Of course, she's not my sister. I was going to. It'll be faster if you ride with me. Oh, this thing's pretty fast. My sister had it tuned up. I'm sure it is, but it'll be trouble if you ride it into the base. They'll want to see your documentation and all that. Good point. Not wanting to be inconvenienced, I put the helmet back in the box and walk with her to her truck. You will tomorrow? Alright, good hammy. I tried for the passenger door. It took more resistance than I expected, so I floundered my first try. I guess it's been a while since I've been in a car. I tried for the passenger... Or no, it's over here. I climb in and sit down. The seat is a bit low, but comfortable. I can't completely see over the dashboard. Courier gets it on the other side and looks to me. Safety first, she says, making motion of a seatbelt being dragged across her chest. I buckle up. Courier does the same. I'm not used to being in an automobile. I actually can't remember the last time I was in one. My sister never had one. My family never did either. The turn on the ignition clicks on the radio. It's playing a news broadcast. Courier turns it off. I find the action agreeable. The sound of the engine fills the cabin. Courier pushes the gas pedal, and the engine roars at us. We roll off. I can feel the weight of the truck shift as we accelerate forward. It's familiar, but comfortable in a way I'm not used to. On my bike, I'm used to dealing with potholes and bumps, and the truck just glides over them. It's a lot faster, too. I won't cite you for tuning up your company bike, don't worry. That was my sister's doing. She said it didn't go fast enough. And in exchange, you're wasting all your gas. I don't think she would thought about that. You gotta leave that stuff to the professionals. Gas is expensive. It's against the rules. It's been that way as long as I've been riding it. As far as I'm concerned, it's the way it should be. And besides, I'm not an employee, right? Courier smiles, keeping her eyes on the road. Soon you'll be. And for legal reasons, you are Clara Lapine today. Make sure you act that way. What's that supposed to mean? I'm pretty upstanding, you know. My sister would have given you more trouble. Well, you know. If you get asked any questions, just answer them as Clara would. Well, I'll try, but I'm not used to lying. I doubt you'll actually have to, but just in case. So I'm getting my picture taken, huh? That one doesn't look much like you. Unless you fancy a radical change of hairstyle. It would take a while for my hair to grow that long. And Clara, she's more of a brunette anyway. You'll just have to say that your name is Claire today, and then there won't be any problems. I'll get the rest sorted out. Yes, this is a visual novel. Yeah, identity fraud, baby. Do you have to cut your hair in the military? Yeah, usually. I wonder how she'd look with short hair. If I can't imagine it. The conversation drops off. We drive in silence for the rest of the way. We get stopped at the gate of the base. A guard steps out from their booth and walks over the driver's side window. Courier hands over a piece of paper to him, and the guard looks it over. After a few moments, he gives an affirmative nod and sends us on our way. The guard and courier seem to have done this completely non-verbally. I guess for some reason she's allowed here. They didn't even ask for Claire's ID. Actually, I don't think the guard even noticed I was in there in the first place. We drive by several large buildings. They're all painted the same color and they all look similar. I guess the Gamut Defense Forces are big on beige. We drove a bit further in, stopping in a building. There's military trucks parked outside and some regular ones. A few people are milling around. I guess this is the depot. Courier parks the truck and turns the engine off. What are we picking up anyway? It's nothing special. We're replacing some of the exchange units in the basement. Those boxes you were poking around the other day? Courier nods. What's wrong with them? Well, there's some incremental improvements, but I think more than anything else, it's that they're old. What do you mean? The model's out of fabrication, hard to find parts for them, so it's easier to replace them when they give out. I nod silently. I guess that makes sense. My sister fixed a tear in my dress once. There's a little patch over it now, but I guess it's not the same for a machine. They get out of fashion. The units are special orders, so the post office won't deliver them. That's why we're here to pick them up. Alkaline must work pretty closely with the military these days, huh? It's a good business relationship. The amount of money the military spends on long-distance lines is unfathomable. I guess the calls I've heard recently confirms that. That business relationship allows me to pull some strings too, so it's a win-win. Anyway, let's get to work. I nod and follow her out. Hemi said, by the way, were there any CW or TW that I should worry about? Not that I would be. What does CW and TW mean? Oh, content warnings or trigger warnings? Like about the game? Like in the game, I guess I should say? The only kind of warning I guess I would really give is it's like this game is like existentialism. So if you have any existential dread, it may trigger that, I guess. But that's the only thing I can really think of. I don't think it had any trigger warnings in the beginning, at least. Almost immediately, I feel eyes on me from the soldiers nearby. I guess they're not used to seeing civilians here. I guess I'm not used to seeing them here either. It feels like this whole area appeared out of nowhere. There was just a train station here before, and now a whole base has sprung up around it. We'll just have to make friends. The soldiers are in standard issue gray uniforms, but not armed. Some of them are smoking cigarettes and some are talking to each other. Some are just staring at me, and it's weird. It makes me want to shout something, but I'm being clear today. I stay close to Courier, who seems unfazed by the attention. She walks with purpose inside the building, and I follow. Inside, there's a very large room. It goes so deep that it's hard for me to make sense of. There's a conglomeration of boxes and crates on tall shelves, rows upon rows of them. Some boxes wrapped up in tarp, and some are open, maybe pending an inspection. There's a crew of people driving forklifts around and a few people on foot with clipboards and the like. They're all wearing the same gray uniform. It's elaborate. I've never seen anything quite like it. In front of the shelves is an area dedicated to reception, a huge empty foyer, concrete. Empty, save for a secretary sitting at a mahogany desk in the middle of the room. She's notably more well-dressed than everyone else, wearing a skirt and a blouse, with her hair done up in a bun. She's wearing glasses, too. The spitting image of a secretary, really. She's clacking away at some sort of machine, a typewriter, I think. She's focused on her work. Courier walks up to the desk, prompting the secretary to stop typing. She looks up at Courier and then to me with some indiscernible expression. I do my signature move, avoid eye contact. I have the manifest for a shipment. The secretary saying nothing makes a hand motion like gimme. Courier extends the paper in response, and the secretary takes it quickly, pushing up her glasses to review it. Alkaline, huh? Her voice is aged and raspy. Sounds like how cigarettes smell. Notably uncharacteristic, considering her young looks. Jesus Christ. That is a fucking analogy, dude. The woman clacks away at the typewriter for a while, and we stand there restlessly. Who's the missus? I had to double take for a second. She says without looking up from the machine, I merely feel my face flush. I hope we don't get in trouble for this. She's my assistant. First day on the job. I guess you'd call that a technically correct statement. Bad time to start, don't you think? I'll look after her. I want to hear from her. The woman stopped typing and looked straight at me. She seems to have taken some sort of attitude towards me. I hide behind Courier. Oi, you. Courier gives me a shove away. I can't hide behind her. You cut out for this kind of work? Is everyone in the military like this? If I were you, I'd quit. Move far down south. Flee down to the coast and live a quiet life. And for the love of God, don't have kids. What? I look to the Courier for escape and she looks back sternly. She probably wants me to come with an offending lie. Move far down south? Flee down to the coast? She's the military, right? Isn't she here to protect her country? Why would she tell me to run away? I've been running away for so long. I don't want to run away anymore. I just want to spend more time like this. I don't want to run away. This is my home. I don't have anywhere else to be. I have to be here for my sister. I say what I know to be true. I don't know what else to say. You're not the only one who feels that way. Starkey looks at me and then back to the Courier. I can't tell what she's thinking. She sighs, seemingly somewhat defeated. She presses a button on the typewriter and it makes a loud ding. A small parchment comes out of the top of the machine. She tears it off and hands it to Courier. I'll have my guys on it. You two can wait in the break room. 30 minutes tops. I guess we got let off easy. The office lady wisps her fingers towards two sad-looking folding chairs, not far from where her desk is. I guess that's the break room. Courier says nothing, and I turn around. She seems to not be headed for the break room. Damn, yeah, dude, fuck. We walk out of the building, following a dirt road to the side, out the side. And while I'm not sure where we're going, I follow Courier anyways. She's not looking at me, but she's not looking at anything else either. I've never seen her make a face like that. Did you make up your mind yet, Anna? What? About the job. Will you take it? I think I know what I want to do. I guess I'll just keep doing as I have. I'll continue to work for Alkaline, officially or not. I want to be there when Clara comes home. Yeah, I figured. You're like that. Like what? You persist, Anna. Even when you have no right to. And that's why you'll do this. That's why you're walking in this direction. That's why you haven't turned around yet. She always acts like she's known me for a long time. You'll do this and you'll do it well. What do you really know about me, Courier? You're just here to do your job. I'm here to do mine. Is it any more complicated than that? We continue walking in silence. The density of soldiers around us increasing as we go. It gets noisy and cramped. I hear shouting and the sound of metal clanging against metal. Engines ripping. We are eventually swallowed up in the sea of people and she takes my hand. Hey, kind of like her dream last night. No, plot twist, her sister's fucking dead. I mean, I don't know if her sister's dead or not. I'm not sure, but it's kind of seeming that way. She didn't really tell you how long she's been alone, but it's seemingly she's been alone for at least a year or two. I can't see above anyone. I just see gray uniforms and boots. I keep getting bonked by people's bags and elbows. A mass of bodies wash past us. I feel like I'm going to be sick. Courier holds my hand tightly and I hold hers back. I don't know where we're going, but I trust her direction. Suddenly, someone drags Courier away. I'm too short to see above the commotion, but I'm still holding on. I hear a voice, but I can't make out what it's saying. I hear Courier say something back, but I can't make that out either. I can feel her hand being pulled away from mine. I try to hold on, but... Oh, it's just like her dream. Okay. I can't see her anymore. I'm pushed around in directions, panic rising in my chest. Something hits me in the head. I feel dizzy. I do the only thing I can think of. I try and push my way out in the direction the courier disappeared to. For some reason, I worry that I look silly doing this. Eventually, the crowd clears out, and I find myself in a plaza surrounded by a sea of tents. There's a few people around, but they all seem to be going about their own business and not paying me any mind. I can finally catch my breath. I've never dealt with stress well. It feels like I can't breathe even now. I see a courier standing some ways away with someone. They seem to be wearing a similar uniform to her. The guy is making a lot of hand motions. I can't tell what he's saying, but it definitely looks like trouble. I start stumbling over. Courier finds me as if trying to signal something. I don't know what she's trying to say with it. I move closer and start being able to make out the conversation. What's the situation? Superior. One of our transformers blew out and we need to get it fixed ASAP. We're running on backup power, but it's not going to last long. We need to bridge the gap until a new one can be installed, but none of our guys know how to do it. I'm really happy you happen to be here, Aaron. Your timing is impeccable as always. The Superior grabs Courier by their shoulder and pulls her with him. I start to follow the two, but the guy stops me. He seems a little shocked. Don't trouble yourself, General. We'll have this fixed in no time. I stop in my tracks. General? What is he talking about? Rest assured, sir. No need for concern. It's a quick fix. Courier speaks to me in a robotic tone as if she's never met me before. I guess she wants me to play along. I'll just wait here then. The Superior seems confused by my response, but doesn't seem to have time to question it. General? Wait, General? Wait. Because this girl looks like her sister. Her sister started out as a medic. But earlier they were talking about promotions. So did her sister move up in the army and is now a general? Because that guy just called the girl a general. You mean $20? Not $30? I mean, we don't know that for sure yet. Let's see. He turns around and walks off with the courier. I watch him disappear into a building. I stand dumbfounded for a moment, trying to make sense of why courier would pretend not to know me. Maybe he should get in trouble for bringing me here. I don't know. For now, I'm left alone in the plaza with nothing to do but wait. Hopefully she comes out that same door soon. At the center of the plaza is a big statue, which seems to have been constructed somewhat haphazardly. It's a monument of what I presume to be a war hero. I don't know who, though. History was never something I was very interested in. It's not fun to read about a bunch of dead old men. I sit down on the base of the statue, twiddling my thumbs. There is an incredible contrast to the bravado of the statue and anxious me at the bottom of it. A few minutes pass and I wobble side to side anxiously. I hope Courier comes back to save me soon. A group of soldiers emerge from down the path and I hide my body behind the statue. I hear them talking. I peek around the statue to see what they're doing. They're all wearing standard issue uniform, but they're armed. They're carrying rifles and they're all wearing helmets. Is this some sort of exercise? Watch them walk past me and I sigh in relief. I guess I'm safe. I really don't want to be seen by anyone else. God knows what can happen if I'm found out. I should really try and find a better hiding spot. I get up and start walking off in the direction that seems least precarious. One that sells a good view of the building that Courier went into. I walk for a few minutes. I learn a couple of things. One, a military base is a terrible place to hide. There's no cover and there's people everywhere. Two, it's big. I have no idea where I've ended up. I found myself in some sort of tent city. I sit down on a crate trying to look aloof like those soldiers did on their break. I get kind of into it and I start to daydream about being a soldier. I imagine myself in a uniform with a rifle and a helmet, walking in long lines with my comrades and putting my rifle at the enemy. I return triumphantly to my comrades of battle and they cheer my name. The bubble pops when I hear a voice call out. You! Oh, it's Twin Tails! The haze of my new life as a soldier is taken away and it's in place. And in its place, a rifle pointed towards me. What are you doing here? There better be a damn good reason. Those two. Cat got your tongue? You're acting super suspicious, you know that? Super duper suspicious. You aspire something? I can't think of a better explanation. They push up at me with their rifles a little more within each exchange, making me almost fall off the crate. This shit must be scary as fuck. What to be like in this situation? They seem somewhat out of sync in the routine of questioning me. This is a terrible place to run into them. A spy? Why would I be a spy? That get up. You're not supposed to be wearing that. Okay. Well, I was sent here. Both of the girls raise their eyebrow at this. I'm here with Alkaline Corp, service representative. I point to the Alkaline building in the distance. It's not a lie. Huh. You with the phone company? She seems to take an accusatory tone. I am. I started to get my pocket to find Claire's ID, but I'm interrupted by a laugh. Pfft. That one girl stopped pointing her gun at me, even going so far to put it on her shoulder. Well, I can see why they didn't choose you. What do they? The other laughs under her breath. I know that insignia. You're not an officer. You're one of the hello girls. Ha 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 ha. Even more naive than I thought. That's good for you. You keep up the good work. Well, you can run off and keep doing whatever, sitting down and pressing buttons. We'll just be here, you know, keeping the country ours. There's something strange about one of them. Can I ask what happened to your helmet? All the other soldiers are wearing them. I assume they caught them off guard with that. That's none of your fucking business. It had a hole in it after a stray bullet. Don't tell her that. So, we take turns wearing it. Stop talking, you idiot! She grabs the arm and starts to tug her in the direction. Come on, we're out of here. Screw this loser. What? Name drop? What do we name drop? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean now. Yeah. It's like when they do that in an anime where it's like fucking, I don't know, like Skeleton, like, my god, he's a fucking skeleton knight. And it's like the name of the anime, and like sort of playing the intro fucking to the anime. They make their way toward the plaza while occasionally giving me dirty glances over their shoulders. I feel that I've blown my cover, so I start walking off in the opposite direction. Suddenly, a group of tall men in green uniforms emerge from out of a building in front of me. They're all wearing a lot of medals and speaking loudly to each other. One of the men steps up to me quickly. He calls out to me, speaking in a deep voice. So there you are. We've been looking all over for you. Huh? If I knew we were looking for a woman, I would have told the grunts to look a bit closer to the ground. He cracks a smirk at me. The rest of the group heartily laugh in a very unpleasant manner. I'm not sure if I should run or play along. Come on, we're about to begin. He grabs my by the shoulder, taking me along to a greater group. We pass the twins, their mouths hanging open in pure shock. So how was your flight in? Great, but that's not... We disappear into a tent and everyone sits down at a table. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing, so I just follow along and take a seat as well. Everyone opens up their briefcase and pulls out a bunch of papers and folders. Oh God! That is a little gruesome. On my left, it's a big burly guy. He lights a cigar and starts reading through a stack of papers. They're all stamped with red ink that says classified. The one on my right rolls out an array of Polaroids. I can't really tell for sure what I'm looking at. It looks like a bunch of flesh. Nothing looks right about it at all. I really am not supposed to be here. A man takes the stand, moving in front of a big whiteboard. He's wearing a very fancy uniform, has a lot of medals on his chest. He opens his mouth. All right, everyone, let's get started. General, it's good to have you here. I'm Colonel Harris of the 3rd Signals Intelligence Brigade. I apologize that we couldn't have this conversation over the phone, but some things are too important to risk enemy interception. We've had some engagements in the last few days that suggest they've managed to decode our comms. He's talking to me? What is he talking about? Why do they keep calling me General? Who do they think I am? It's not certain that any comms beyond some frontline combat units have been compromised, and it's quite unlikely our main command channels are at risk, but the rate of which their efforts are progressing is a little concerning. As a result, we've decided all briefings contain information about target Rabbit Zero will be strictly in person for the time being. We appreciate you taking the time to fly out here. Did he say the enemy is tapping our phones? I feel more confused and uneasy with each passing moment. I don't think I should be here. I begin to worry what will happen when they find out who I really am. What should I say? Of course. Let's proceed. We've intercepted some enemy transmissions that seem to mention increased scouting focused towards the northern provinces. At present, we have reason to believe that the target is, or at least has been, physically present in that region for the last few months. It's unknown whether the enemy's information is accurate, but we've airily confirmed increased enemy troop movement toward the sector as recently as 18 hours ago. It's not believed that they'd commit such troop volume to a deception campaign, so they must be onto something. The colonel pauses and seems to expect me to say something. Maybe I look as nervous as I feel inside. He narrows his eyes a little. My throat is bone dry. I can't speak or even think. I'm not supposed to be here. They say in the news that spies get executed, but I'm not a spy. This is just a mistake. Surely they won't understand. Suddenly, when I'm heard by a shout from just outside, and I hear someone enter the tent behind me. Colonel, my apologies, but we need the general out here right now. Excuse me, this is a classified briefing. I'm sorry, but this is urgent. I require the general's attention for just a moment. Before anyone can say anything else, Courier escorts me out of the tent, moving with urgency I've never seen from her. She zips towards the crowd, nearly dragging me behind her. Surprisingly, nobody seems to stop us from leaving. Was that a believable excuse? We dive into the mess of soldiers, and I again can do nothing but hang on and trust she knows where to go. Her grip on my hand is much tighter than before. Without losing it, we make it back to the courier's truck, load up what must be the parts that we had come for. We climb in without speaking to anyone, and she steers towards the exit. I said, oh sweet Jesus, you might actually be right, Rookie. That whole thing right there just supported your theory. It did! I guess her sister became a general. We arrive at the gate where Courier suddenly hands the guard some sort of receipt. I sit quietly as possible, trying to will myself out of existence. The guard walks back towards the bed of the truck and briefly looks over our cargo. For a moment, he hands the receipt back to Courier, letting us go with a nod. As we finally make it outside the base perimeter, I let a slow, deep exhale. I didn't realize I was holding my breath. Courier turns on a dirt road that runs out of base, and we drive wordlessly towards town. So now I go down $20. There's a light breeze today, and the plains shimmer in the glow of the afternoon sun. Normally, I love this sort of view, but I can't bring myself to enjoy the scene. Courier had been periodically glancing in the rearview mirror. She seems inordinately tense. I try and ease the tension a little. I'm glad we made it out of there. I was really worried. Anna, what did you do? I try to remember what the meeting was about. The words had barely registered. It's a mess. It all happened so fast. I didn't really understand. They said the enemy's tapping our phone lines, I think. And they mentioned something called Rabbit Zero. Apparently it was too important to talk about on the phone. They went on for a while about scouting, and then you showed up. Your usually stoic expression has shifted to one of worry. Fuck. Do you know anything about that stuff? No. But I do know that you absolutely were not supposed to hear any of that. We could lose our jobs over this, or worse. Her voice is taken on a shaky tone. This is bad. Maybe really bad. Courier looks in the rearview mirror again. We have to lay low. For a while. Courier rubs her temples with one hand, keeping the other on the steering wheel. How did you even end up there? After you left, I was just, I don't know, trying to stay out of the way, I guess. I ran into these military brats. They kept saying I was impersonating someone, and they made fun of me. And then those officers showed up out of nowhere. Before I even knew what was happening, they took me into that tent. I think they mistook me for someone else. Someone important, apparently. Your sister isn't some kind of official or anything, right? I shake my head. My sister could be in charge of anything like that. No way. Courier groans. I can't make sense of this. Courier looks behind her at the loaded bed of the truck. I can't believe those soldiers actually helped us load this stuff up. Hope they got everything right. I'm not even sure if I can go back there. They might think I was working with you or something. You are working with me though. Right, but not like that. If someone recognizes you as the girl that crashed their top secret meeting, and I was the one who pulled you out of it, my name tag. I should have taken it off. I'm beginning to get the picture. You said you saw girls from the military around town. Don't talk to them anymore. If they ask you anything, just say you don't know. I really don't think those goofballs would be able to get anything out of me, but I nod anyway. If they ask you about me, say you don't know me. If they ask you about the meeting, say you don't know anything about it. You don't even know what the meeting is. Got it? You're just a dumb kid who doesn't know anything. She lets a deep exhale, and the worry in her face melts a little. I'm sorry, Anna. This is all my fault. I wasn't thinking straight when I brought you along. I should have known that you'd clear your trails off and get your shift as if discarding the thought. It's not her fault. For a few moments, we drive in silence. I didn't have time to look into that ID yet. Now I'm kind of glad I didn't. That's our ace here. The Force has no idea who you are. As far as they know, you're nameless and faceless. That's good. You don't even work for Alkaline. Yes, we have to keep it that way. Maybe in a few days, they'll just have forgotten about this. Courier smiles wryly. If they really did think you were a general, and you had run off and never returned, I don't know. Once they realized you weren't who they thought you were, I doubt they'd forget about it. They might be looking for you. I'm sorry. I don't mean to scare you. If they thought you were someone important, I guess they glossed over the details in the first place. We can use that. Things will be fine. I'm sure of it. I want to believe that things will just work out. Somehow they always have up until now. But I can't shake the feeling that this time is different. The rest of the car ride passes quietly under the sun setting, but now the quiet is more tired instead of tense. The events of the day have taken their toll on both of us. When we get home, it's nearly dark. Bro, worst babysitter ever? Yeah, dude, fuck. I restlessly shuffle around in my bed, trying but failing to get comfortable. Courier instead insisted on staying the night, worried that something might happen if she didn't. At any rate, it's nice to have her company. I made her a little bed on the floor of my room. It's just a blanket and a pillow. Doesn't matter, she said. Though, now that night settled into silence, the anxiety about the day has begun to creep back in. I think about the weird things I heard. What could happen if the enemy is really tapping our phones? What is Rabbit Zero? Those pictures were really scary. I keep seeing them even when I close my eyes. Oh fuck, she's traumatized, dude. Courier isn't here right now. She shot up earlier, looking around the room like she was lost and then went out. She hasn't come back, but the occasional creak of the floorboard tells me she's still there. She probably has a hard time sleeping too. She kept looking out the window like she was expecting something earlier. I try to shake the bad thoughts away like they're insects. Maybe counting sheep would be more worthwhile. I envisioned sheep jumping over a barn fence, small and fluffy. Oh, sorry, that's a 1, 2, 3. She passes out, and we're in this dream time. I think we're in dream zone, dream time. I'm in a cage. Something doesn't feel right about my skin. It stings, like being stung by 1,000 wasps at once. The room is bright. It's hard to keep my eyes open. Tenderness throughout. A deep, gravelly voice. Skin like tree bark. A face like a dog. Of course, it can be corrected, but... cooperation is critical. Needles are pushed into every little spot on my body. Somehow, it doesn't hurt. It feels natural, like breathing. I ruminate on the sensations throughout my body. Then I notice my blood feels wrong. It's tinkling, a sensation I've never felt before. I can't tell if it hurts or if it feels good. Oh. A new sensation, like falling through a trap door. My body tensing up as it sinks. Rainbows across my vision, unexplainably terrifying. Types of things you couldn't possibly imagine on purpose. Impossible shapes. The only intelligent parts is the terror that emanates from them. Phase 3. Courier is both paranoid as fuck. Yeah, I would imagine she'd be paranoid as fuck after what happened. Also, yeah, I don't know what that dream was about. Yeah, I'll save my progress. I set the teacups down on the table. My other hand lays down a plate of freshly baked scones, Courier eyes tracking the baked goods intently. After what happened yesterday, I feel it's right to treat ourselves a little today. Sugar for your tea? You don't have to waste something so nice on me. It's no trouble at all, thank you. I get up to search the cupboard for the jar, turning to the table with it in hand. Ooh, those look more like biscuits than scones, but alright. I take a seat, Courier already busy with mouthfuls of scone. I pass her the sugar jar. We indulge in overly sweet tea and pastries for a while. It's far from a feast, but it feels like a luxury. Courier wipes blueberry jam off her mouth with a napkin. You're a great cook, Anna. Oh no, don't say that. This is just about what I can do. I get that sense that you're just being modest. Well, we used to go to the bakery. If it was still open, I'd probably just have done that. So you missed the bakery? Is that why you picked up baking? When it closed down, I wanted to keep the tradition going. So, how'd you pick it up? Did either of you know how to bake before? No, not really. We just followed the recipes in the cookbooks. It's not that hard. You just have to follow the instructions. You're being modest again. Oh, shush. What about you, Courier? Do you cook? I'm sure if I tried to make something, it'd just be a disaster. I'm usually out on the road anyhow. I just eat whatever's available. Roadside stands, diners, whatever. Sounds nice. A diner is where they cook for you, right? You've never been to a diner before? No, I don't think so. There's none around here. Courier wipes her mouth with a napkin before taking another sip of tea. This is a bit of a diner right here. You're always cooking for me. I guess you could say that. Maybe one of these days I'll have time to pick up a book and make something for you. I enjoy the idea of Courier cooking for me, but of course you won't be here for long enough to make good on that. Maybe you could have one of the cookbooks. One of the rooms in the house is just full of them. Just take one with you when you leave. You have a whole room for cookbooks? Anna, you're so serious about this. It's an old study. It's got a lot of books. Lots of garbage in there too. Might have been Bill's stuff. I'm not sure. Bill? Who the heck is Bill? The previous owner, I think. It said Bill on the mailbox. Bill, huh? At some point he might have tended to these switchboards, but I think he might have ran off and become a pilot. So you're the previous owner? No, not at all. This place was empty when we moved in. There were a lot of modeled airplanes in that dusty old room, and aviation magazines too. He left a lot of stuff behind. I guess he was in a hurry. Huh. What if Bill comes back? Wouldn't he be like a predecessor to me and Clara? He'd just come into the company and grab it? That doesn't sound right. If you left all your stuff behind at work, it's probably not yours anymore. Yeah. I left out a lot of details about Bill. You can learn all kinds of things by digging through someone's belongings. I know Bill isn't coming back to claim his stuff, but Courier doesn't need to know that. You know, it's been a while since we moved in. It's so quiet here. Sometimes it really feels like we own the place. Until Lady Alkaline came knocking. Lady Alkaline was very nice about it. We share a laugh. Scones? On God, wait. So this is a civilian helping an army woman situation? So no. Well, I mean, technically, I guess. So Clara is Anna's big sister. Clara worked for Alkaline and maintained the phone lines until she got drafted into the war, and she became a medic. So Anna took over Clara's position in the phone lines to keep it up and running. But Anna didn't know anything about keeping them up properly. So this maintenance worker came to do a routine check, but as this maintenance worker said, it looks like no one's been here to check on things for like 5-10 years. Meaning that I'm assuming Clara also didn't do very good upkeep on this place either. We're talking about all kinds of things, but there's one big topic that we're both avoiding. A night's rest has put us to ease after what happened yesterday. Though I'm not sure Courier slept much at all. She seems to be in good spirits. It's probably best to keep doing our jobs as usual to avoid raising suspicion. If we disappeared for a few days, it would only serve to make things worse. Playing it cool is the best way to go about this. I at least trust that Courier knows how to navigate the situation better than I do. Whatever she's doing is probably the right thing. I poured her another cup of tea, feeling she might need it. She's already at work sketching out some plans for the day like nothing's wrong. I'm also eager to indulge in normalcy and more scones. We can forget about bad things if we have to. We're adults. We have jobs to do. I try to think about how I'm going to occupy my time. It's been a while since I've had to worry about work, and I don't think I should try to get in Courier's way if she doesn't need me to today. Maybe this would be a good time to get back to those books Clara left me. I get so worried when there's a black screen like that, dude. Like something bad's gonna happen. Okay, but now it's just going to the dusk. Today all seemed to go smoothly and without incident. What could have been a turn for the worst did not come to pass. No government officials, no military police, just a nice and calm in the telephone exchange, except that endless banging from the switchboard room. It was another day of arduous work for Courier. I spent the day to myself, reading through some books that had been sitting unfinished for a while. It was nice to have some time to myself for once. Every time I went to check on Courier, she was always hard at work, giving me the nicest smile. It put me at ease. I played with one of Bill's model airplanes for a bit. I put them up all in a neat row at the table. Courier seemed to know the names of all of them. Courier pulls her truck door shut and starts the engine, the sound cutting through the crickets. After a few moments, the truck begins to rumble away into the night. I considered waving goodbye this time around, but by the time I decided, it's too late. Oh well. Alone in the dark quiet of the switchboard room, I shiver a little bit from the cold draft let in. Strange. I thought I closed the door. A footstep from behind me. Oh no. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. A blade at my neck. Time seems to stop at this moment. The shape is cold and foreign. You move, you're dead. Completely frozen in place, my arms stay firmly to my sides with my hands outward. I catch a whiff of sweat and blood, but I know it's not mine. I try to say anything, but nothing comes out. My hands begin to shake as my mind races to a million different conclusions. Got it? A voice I don't recognize. Low and withdrawn. Yes. I finally managed a word. The pale hand in front of me tightens their grip, sending chills down my spine. What do they tell you? What? In that tent. The barracks. What did the generals tell you? My breathing becomes shakier as my confusion grows. I don't... They just... Suddenly words lose all their meaning. Absent. Worthless things. Stop fucking around. The left arm of the bladed girl wrenches on my shoulder, pulling it back, forcing me to find my balance. The flat of the blade dances along my skin through the struggle, sending shockwaves through my nerves. My eyes dart back and forth in panic, looking for any semblance of meaning behind all this. I don't know. You better give me something right now. What does she want from me? I haven't done anything wrong. I've never done anything to hurt anyone else. My face begins to flood with warmth and pressure, tears making their way to the surface. I don't deserve to die here. Please. Through my stammering and sobbing voice just barely makes it through. There's a pause from the bladed girl. Rank and position. What? I gasp for air. I feel almost as if I've just narrowly avoided drowning. Silence, with only the sound of tears tapping the floor. Notice the gray uniform of the girl. Military. I'm not military. In one swift action, the girl moves the blade away from my neck and shoves me to the floor, knocking me on my side with a hard kick. After rubbing my face with my sleeve, I take a look up at her. Ooh, my god. You love the IRL PNG with the hand-drawn characters? That woke me the fuck. Dude, that also, like, god damn, that was scary. She is looking worse for wear. Holy shit, she doesn't look good. I get a good look at her face. Her long blue hair is covering one eye, which is dripping blood. Her uniform is completely torn up. It's the quiet girl from the patrol I ran into the other day. Her look slowly turns to one of surprise, then to slight concern. Her eyes are around as to see if anyone was watching, but of course I live alone. I cough out some tears I choke down, while cursing for myself for not locking my door. Think about your next words wisely. Her voice is low, but still lost some of its edge. Are you or are you not with Gamma Defense Force? No, I'm just a helping operator for Alkaline. The girl stands up straight, her eyes narrowing. Oh, Jesus. If that's true, then why were you in that tent yesterday? I don't know. She looks puzzled. I think they thought I was someone else. I find it hard to believe a killing machine so efficient would make a mistake like that. I was on a job to pick up some new equipment, and we came to the base to pick up some new equipment. I promise, I was just doing my job. Look, I reach for my pocket, pulling on the service notice that was given to me. My hand trembles as I hold it in front of her. She snatches it from my hand, crumpling it up. Incorrect, her eyes say. My fingers pathetically point at the mess of switchboard parts left on the floor. These are all the new things that we got. I can even show you how the switchboard works. I could do it with my eyes closed. I swear, I'm not lying. Shut up. I don't care. She looks around the room, then back at me. What did they tell you? What? In that tent. What did they say to you? I try to remember. My panic state makes it harder to think straight. All I can see is that knife inching closer to me. I don't need to hurt you. They said that the enemy was tapping to our lines. That they were listening in on our communications. Everyone knows that. She looks away, her face contorting in frustration. Wrong answer again. How many more tries do I have? She lowers her head and scratches her neck. Fuck. With the hostile intent wavering, I gather myself and stand back up, in case I need to run. Her face is half gone. Oh, she's missing an eye. Is she missing an eye? Her presence seems to lessen now that I'm eye level with her. While I feel I should be more scared in this moment, I feel surprisingly intact. On the other hand, she looks entirely lost. I have a feeling this isn't at all what she planned for. She paces around the room for a minute and then looks down at her hands. They're covered in dried blood, someone else's I presume. A whole mix of emotions seem to be running through her, and I can see her thoughts racing as she paces around, looking up and down the room and the switchboards at me. She kicks the table, rattling the porcelain cups. She stumbles over on one foot cushion, catching herself. If you're not here to hurt me, can you tell me what's going on? She stops her pacing and looks at me. I feel like I ticked her off. She opens her mouth as if trying to muster up some words to throw at me, but then says nothing. Her fists clench and then unclench and retreat. I'm dead. Huh? I'm a dead man. They're going to find me, and then they're going to kill me. You weren't sent here to get me? If you wanted to know what's going on. She grits her teeth and then kicks over a box of foodstuff that sits on the floor. She puts her face in her hand and groans some words. I step closer to her. Are you okay? You look pretty hurt. You're bleeding a lot. The girl stops. She touches her face and looks down at the blood on her hands. I know a little bit of first aid. I can at least stop the bleeding, but you really should see a doctor. Oh, she ran away. Before I can say anything else, she suddenly gets on her feet and runs out of the door. She didn't kill a courier, did she? It wasn't easy to sleep after what happened. I get a chill thinking about the look I saw in that girl's eyes. Only one can imagine what she went through for her to do what she did to me. I feel I should be angrier at her, but the feeling just doesn't come. If anything, I feel more helpless, again. What would Clara have done? Either way, she's gone now. She only left droplets of blood on the floor. If they weren't there, I might have doubted that whole thing had happened in the first place. I couldn't bring myself to even clean up. I just went back to bed and tried to sleep. That girl, she seemed haunted by something. I'm just hoping that's the last I see of her. I close my eyes thinking about what I should even do next. Would the police help? I've never had to call the police before. I know Courier said not to get them involved. We might have a bigger problem in our hands now. I wish so badly she stayed another night. We were wrong to think we were safe. Once the lines open up, I'll try to see if the police can do something. Yeah, she'll probably be back. I roll over lethargic, a yawn and a stretch. I'm not sure what time it is, but it's still dark outside. I don't know if I can get any more sleep. I get up and get dressed. It's too early to call the police. I guess I'll go for a walk. Don't go for a walk! I start walking down the road towards the town. The sun is just starting to rise. It's strange. I can't feel the sun's warmth. Come to think of it, I can't feel anything else either. The post office. I wonder if the mail-yard is in yet. The door seems to be open. She walked to town? Nobody is here. Not even mail-yard. I go to check in on the desk where she could normally be found slacking off. She's not there. I think maybe I can just reach over the counter and kick off with my feet. I squeeze my way through the till and into the back room. And I land on my feet. Of course, she's not here. It's too early. She's probably still at home getting her beauty sleep. I don't know why I'm not doing the same. Why What was I even trying to find here? I was just trying to go on a walk, right? The sack of mail are still here. I wonder if I should start sorting them. Maybe Miller would appreciate it. She's always slacking off anyways. What would she do without me? I open up one of the bags. It's full of letters. The bag seems to want to fall over. I grab with my entire body to stop from doing so. I notice that letter slips out of the bag. I pick it up and look at it. Representative. It's for the exchange. The bag falls over, mail spilling everywhere. Oh well. I guess I'll just sort it all out after all. I opened up the letter in my hand. Dear Miss Clara Lapine, we are writing to you to inform you that your location is scheduled to be demolished in the coming weeks. What? We have been working with the local government to ensure that all of your equipment is properly transferred to a new location with a minimal reduction of service. The personnel at the current location will be reassigned to other branches of the company. There will be no service representative available to assist with this transition. You expect to be able to handle this on your own. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. Hold that confidence. Your local branch office at Alkaline. I felt my heart sink. I can't believe what I'm reading. They're going to demolish the exchange, and Claire is going to be reassigned? She's not even here to see this. She would be devastated. I clutch the letter in my hand. I have to get back to the house. Maybe Courier can help me figure out what to do. I tried the post office, but the window I entered through seems to have disappeared. What the? Letters are hurting a pile up around me. Gosh, Miller, just do your job for once. I keep trying to push through the letters, but they just keep coming. I feel panic start to set in. What do I do? Everything is wrong. I can't even get out of this room. The letters are stacking higher and higher, and my feet can't touch the floor anymore. Even moving at all is becoming impossible. Oh, is it a dream? One of the letters swim up to my face. It's outgoing mail to Clara. I know those stamps. This is my letter. I wrote that last week. More letters are starting to float up to me. They're all mine. They're all my letters, all addressed to Clara. God, how old is this even? Has the mailer been hoarding my mail? You can't do that. You're supposed to send it out. Tears well up in my eyes. Has Clara not been hearing from me at all? I fight against the river of my own letters. I have to get out of here, but I can't. Right now, I really would just like to talk to someone. Anyone would do. I just don't want to be alone right now. Courier, Clara, Meliard, Bill, Mother, anyone? The phone. I didn't know there was a phone here. I started digging in the direction of the sound. I found it in a pile of letters. I probably shouldn't pick it up. I would get in trouble. But maybe it's important. Maybe Meliard is calling in sick. What if it's Clara? I don't know. The phone call might be for me. I climb over the letters and reach for the phone. I pick up the receiver. This has to be a dream, right? Hello? Hello? If you're not going to say something, I'll just hang up. There's nothing in this universe that is scarier than change. That we must be desired. That we must be seen. It is something I never asked for. If I could have instead been all alone all of this time, if I had never had looked at the TV, if I had never picked up the phone, if I had never met anyone, then I would have never had the desire to be more. Then there wouldn't have been any problems. There wouldn't have been any pain. But that's impossible. You can't go your life without meeting anyone. The fact that you were conceived in the first place was the feat of two people's connection. Their dirty, disgusting love. All your mother wanted was a child. All your father wanted was for his legacy to continue. Your teachers wanted your obedience, your good grades, so they could keep their pensions. Your peers huddled up next to you. They wanted the world to be a little less cold. They wanted things to make sense. Your boss wanted your labor. Your lover wanted your affection. But did they ever ask you what you wanted? By being in the proximity of others, they hold the powers to use you, to manipulate you, to hurt you. What's worse is they don't even realize they're using others. They think they're acting out of some altruism, some kindness, but they are only acting out of their own desires. They're shaping the world to their own wants. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with being used? Everything moves by itself. Nobody is in control of anything. There are no conspiracies. There are no secrets. It's just a mess of people trying to get what they want. When you see it for what it really is, you can't help but feel sick. Millions of bunnies trying to will the system to their wants and desires. It can't be anything but chaos. This is the true nature of this world, and that's why it must be destroyed. I thought I was above it, but ultimately I fell to the same curse as everyone else. The one where you want to be loved, to want to be desired, to allow yourself to change. I can only ask you not to repeat my mistake. Clearly, this was the only path I could have taken in life. Nobody ever told me not to. Debasing myself until there was nothing left. All for that one wish, to be something people could recognize. It didn't quite work out the way anyone wanted it to. I never took any wrong steps, but I still ended up hurting so many people. How do you account for this? Is wanting to be loved something that is not permitted for me? Is it a curse that to want to be desired by people? Is it a curse that I have to play this wicked role, all for just a fleeting chance of being seen? Do the rules dictate that I must be a monster? What was the point of all of this? I think you may have the wrong number. I don't know who you are, but I don't think I'm the person you're looking for. But if you really want my opinion, I think being loved isn't something so complicated. You just have to find someone who can understand you. They will love you for who you are, even in your ugly parts. You don't understand me at all. Huh? Was that all a dream? Yeah, I'll save my progress, but was that all a dream? Yeah, it was a dream, okay. I rubbed my eyes open. I'm back in my room. It's light out now. What a strange dream. I sit up, then I see it. Oh gosh, she's still here? Sitting in the corner, hugging her knees, bayonet in one hand, that same girl. I scream and backpedal towards the wall of my bed. What? What? What is she doing here? Well, it wasn't a dream? She keeps her eye trained on me, unfazed by my reaction. You! I completely lost for thoughts. The words come out of my mouth automatically. Her eyes study me all over, but she doesn't move an inch. The look on her face is one of quiet, calculated concentration. We stared at each other for a while, exchanging no further words. The panic begins to fade the more I look at her. It was hard to see properly last night, but I realize now that she's only about my size, maybe a little smaller. The look on her face, it doesn't look like she's here to harm me. Why are you here again? I finally mentioned the words. She breaks her gaze and adjusts her grip on the bayonet. Keeping an eye on you. I just don't understand. I already said I don't know anything. That's fine, but see, there's a problem. The thing is that you've seen me. She stands up and adjusts the leather bandage that now covers her eye. And then sheathes her bayonet to walk straight out of my room. Where is she going? She's not planning to stay here, is she? This isn't still a dream, right? It dawns on me that I'm only my nightwear. I get out of bed and start to change, as if that would help me understand what's going on. As I put my dress on, I hear stomping coming back from the main room. The bandaged girl sprints back into my room and puts her back against the wall next to the doorway. She's in a full sweat, clearly panicking. You have to get rid of them. Even more confusion, though I think it's probably just a courier arriving. The bandaged girl stumbles over to me and then suddenly puts her hands on my shoulder. You have to figure this out. You have to get them to leave. The sound of the front door opening and the sound of heavy footsteps. Anna? Bandaged girl clenches her teeth, then looks around my room. She makes a dash for the closet, but trips on some still exposed wires. Her head collides with the wall as she crumbles into a ball on the floor, hand on her head, groaning in pain. Anna? Is that blood on the floor? Are you okay? Kira stops as soon as her head pokes around into my room. A long silence is shared. Bandaged girl shakily looks up at Courier, making a surprised face. Huh. You're not. She grunts, puts her hands back on her head. Who is that? No one. Bandages stands up and starts to make her way out of the room with her head down. Wait a sec. Top in her tracks and slowly looks at the courier. Courier makes a face once she sees the bandages on the soldier's face. What's going on here? You abandoned your post? It's not something I can exactly hide anymore. She nervously laughs. They'll hang me for this. Of course they will. You're a deserter. A traitor to the great effort. And it's not her problem. Well, see, it kinda is. If you turn me in, I'll just tell them that you were hiding me. It'll be a fun story. For several days, you let a deserter stay in your home and not once did you report it. Maybe you've been planning to help me escape the country. That also carries the death penalty. Kira and I look at each other in disbelief. She has us in a bind. Some traitors you are. You're just as bad as I am. That can't be. Think about it this way. She puts one hand over her eye bandages and points at us with the other. You two are the chosen ones. What? This war is a sham, a complete farce, manufactured to keep us from finding the truth. Those bastards in charge will keep you both working until the day you die, for something you don't even know shit about. Don't you want to know why they're not telling you anything? I think we've heard enough why we're at war. It's all that anyone ever talks about. We're supporting the Eastern Alliance to stop the Northern Provinces from invading. Yeah, but ever thought why the Northern Provinces would try to attack? What exactly is there to gain by taking Gamut? They're trying to create a buffer zone to keep us out, and I know from what. Okay? All of my research has led me here. To a phone exchange? Yes. I was hoping to find someone who finally understands. Someone else who can see it. That girl over there. She's not who she says she is. You're talking about Anna? She's not just a telephone operator. She can see the truth. You need to go. Courier starts to walk towards Bandages and attempt to shoo her away. Oh, of course, the tool of the state trying to silence me. Courier stops in place. What did you just call me? The only tool here is you, you coward. Coward? Everyone who works for the Alkaline only serves to fuel the death machine. You're too shallow to understand that. You would see everyone ground to dust if it meant your comfort, but I guess it's hopeless. You're too far gone. You're the only one who's far gone. I'm not just making it up. Ever since I left, I haven't had any of the nightmares. That should tell you something, small girl. Nightmares? Wait, what do you mean by nightmares? The nightmares, you know? The ones that only happen if you're chosen. She couldn't mean. Did you hit your head? Kurt pokes at the girl's dome. She recalls in response. Yes, but that's not what's important here. Something brought us all together here. There's a divine fate that we all share. It's our shared destiny to uncover the truth. She's making all sorts of weird gestures with her hands as she talks. And if you were able to understand just a tenth of what I know, you would all agree with me. Alright, smarty pants, what do you know? Ahem. The northern provinces have something extremely valuable. I've spent weeks gathering intel on it. They plan to use it as a weapon. They're calling it Rabbit Zero, or rather her. A weapon that will break the world. Rabbit Zero. In that tent, they... Oh! The girl suddenly scrambles her way toward me, putting her face up against mine, or is almost touching. So you do remember. What did they say? What else did they tell you? I didn't understand any of it. It felt like a bad dream. Are you sure? Please, anything. There were Polaroids of flesh and some kind of machine. I don't know what it was. So much of it went over my head. I'm not a military official or anything. I'm just some girl. I'm sorry, I can't remember. Bandages slumps over, visibly disappointed. There has to be an answer. You couldn't have been in that tent for no reason. They mistook me for someone else. I don't know why. Why would they do that? Maybe it was my uniform. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. This can't be right. What are you not telling me? They wouldn't just let you go like that. They would have... I had to pay a price for my own freedom. I had to give up something. Change her fingernails to her scalp. If only you felt my pain, you would understand. Yes, the pain. It's the only way to stop them. You need to feel what I feel. She starts reaching behind her, her pose tensing up. Alright, that's enough. Courier reaches over and grabs Bandages by the bunny ears. Ow, ow. Let go of me, you freak. The girl takes a swing at Courier, she's easily overpowered. Courier drags her off her feet, throws her into the bedroom. There's a loud thud as she hits the floor. Kurt comes back out and closes the door behind her. She presses against it to keep it closed. She hits the bayonet onto the floor the girl was holding just a few moments ago. It clatters violently as it slides across the room. Bandaged girl jiggles the doorknob and pounds on the door, frantically trying to find her way out. You can't do this! Anna, get me that chair over there. I take it over to her and she wedges under the doorknob. Little shit. She pounds on the door again. This is wrong. Kurt and I look at each other. She has a look of total exhaustion, even though the day has only started. You're gonna need a stronger prison to hold back my power. Nobody can contain Unozo Moonbeam. What? Okay, guys, please. I promise I won't hurt you. I'm sorry. You're lucky I'm showing you mercy by not breaking your stuff. Is that really your name? Huh? What? Unozo Moonbeam? How did you know that? No, it's not. Can we just call her something else? Bandages. I don't think she deserves a cute name like that. You know. Faint murmurs coming in from the bedroom. You can just call me You-Know. How about we call you whatever we want, you little brat? My throat is getting parched. I will partake in some water. Courier and I sit outside on the porch. We're both trying to catch our breath. Banjo's still inside, pounding on the door. She's been at it for a while now. Courier pushed more weight against the door, trying to keep it shut. I just hope it will hold. Neither of us felt comfortable leaving her in there alone, but being tormented by her was starting to wear on us. Courier looks over at me. What do we do now? It's for her to ask me for advice. Usually it's Courier who has all the answers. I don't know. We can't just keep her in there forever. It's really Courier is stumped by a situation. She's always been the one to take charge. It's probably very frustrating for her. I don't feel panicked about the situation. Scary things happen all the time. Things that are bigger than me. The unknown is scary, but it's not something that I can't handle. When Kara left, my grip on the world felt like it was loosening. I had to learn how to deal with things on my own. When I look over the Courier, I see her fiddling with her hands, gazed fixed to the ground. I would have comforted her, but I can't find the words myself. Courier shoots up from her seat. Well, after a few seconds, she moves towards the back of the house. I don't want to bother her, so I stay put. I leaned back in my chair looking up at the sky. Cicadas chirp in the distance, and I let the sound fill the silence. The sky is a deep blue, ultramarine. A perfect fall day, all things considered. After some time, I hear the drill spin up in the distance. Crew's probably continuing her work on the terminus from earlier. Sometimes the best thing to do is keep busy. I was on Watch for the rest of the day. I spent the day on the floor of the main room reading a book while Career worked downstairs in the basement. Throughout the day, I continued to hear a few bumps coming from behind the bedroom door, which would make me jump, though eventually they quieted. As preparing a sandwich for a snack, it struck me that our guests had been locked up for the whole day without any food or water. It wouldn't be a bad idea to build amicable relations with our new housemate. I don't know what she likes, but it's not like I have a lot of options. Soldiers are probably used to eating whatever they can get their hands on. I quietly moved the chair from the door. It's opening part ways to do. It makes no sound. That old door would always open a little bit if you didn't close it all the way. The whole house is sunken a bit on one side, Courier said. I don't understand how the earth can eat a house, but it seems supported by evidence. I peek inside the room. I can see sitting on the floor, legs crossed, staring at the wall. She would be able to see me from the peripheral of her vision, so she must know I'm here. I open the door a little more, placing a porcelain plate of the sandwich on the floor. She doesn't move at all in response to the sound. I figured you might be hungry. No response. It's not much, but I don't want you to starve. I'm sorry. I don't know what to do about you. If you need anything, just let me know. I can help you. It seems like she doesn't want to talk to me. I could understand why. I closed the door and wedged the chair back under the doorknob. Just to make my way back to my seat, I feel footsteps coming from the back of the house. My face flushes with panic. I don't want Courier to know I've been in there, so I try and act natural by picking up my book. Courier emerges from the basement covered in dirt and dust. She pats down her uniform and wipes the sweat off with her forehead. Okay, we might be finished here. I totally closed the book I just picked up, the idea of working again swirling around my head. I'm wondering what my job looks like now with the new upgrades. Courier walks over to the switchboards where a shiny new machine now sits. She told me before that it's a teletypewriter. It's a machine that transmits written messages. It's a new addition to the system. She hits in the seat and starts fiddling with some of the buttons. Faint mumbles coming from behind the barricade door. I move closer to listen to what's being said. I thought I saw a ghost. I thought it was you again. You know? Is she talking to me? I scoot closer to the door. I look over at the Courier. She's focused on the teletypewriter. Can I tell you a story? Her voice clearly now. I don't respond, but I think she can tell I'm listening. I was only in the infantry for about half a year. Patrols, hand loading, serving food. We all did a little bit of everything. I was weak, falling sick pretty often. Terminal tends to do that kind of thing to you. I spent a lot of time in the medic's tent recovering from ailments. When it was clear I wasn't recovering quickly enough, nothing much was expected of me. Many people passed through the sick bay, but I had grown used to seeing. She looked a little bit like. She goes quiet. About a month ago, there was an all-hands-on-deck situation on the northern border. We knew this meant combat of some sort, but none of us would have expected what happened. Last nervously, a chill creeps over my skin. There was a buildup of northern province troops along our border. Without cautious as we had been in the months before, no one was expecting combat on our land so soon. A lot of infantry was split into smaller units to hold specific points along the border. These units all had set up their own camps, and my unit was the most remote one of them all. The nearest other unit was 30 miles away. They knew I didn't have it in me to fight. I was in charge of patrolling the perimeter of the camp overnight. Pretty typical for the new recruits. I couldn't say no. She paused for a second. It wasn't enough. While our unit slept, some kind of covert squad had infiltrated our camp during the night. With how separated we all were, it wasn't surprising we couldn't hold them off. We didn't have coverage to even see them coming. They just surrounded the tents. Our squadron just walked out, realizing there was no winning this fight. They trotted them out to the field and stripped them of their gear, and then they began taking them out, one by one, slowly. Could only watch, couldn't make the sound. Most nations follow international convention. One of the regulations are that medics are not to be targeted outside of combat. Could you even call this combat? They just walked them out and, indiscriminately, bangs echoing in the night. They didn't care what or who. They just wanted to make a point. Straight into the trenches we dug to defend against them. I knew it wasn't just our camp when I retreated. I kept hearing these solitary gunshots from all around. I wasn't the only survivor out of our unit. After this all happened, nothing felt real anymore. Couldn't sleep for weeks. And when I could, I found that the nightmares I was already having worsened. When I closed my eyes, I would see those poor medic girls, contorted in a hole in the ground, like they're garbage. Nobody cared. At all. Everyone just kept going about their business. No funeral. This was accepted as part of the war. Just another day. Nobody even wanted to acknowledge the loss of life. Did that medic have a family? Did she have a name? Was there anyone who would miss her? I think it was understood that I was no good on the front lines anymore, and so I was reassigned on to patrolling smaller towns. But on occasion I had duties at base. I used the opportunity to find as much information on the war as I could. I wanted to find some sort of reason for this cruelty, why and how people could do this to each other. I'm not sure why I'm even telling you this right now. You two have nothing to do with any of this. That's a big sister, I guess, Clara. Indiscriminately. One by one. The words repeat in my head over and over. Breathing is difficult. Seeing is difficult. Thinking is difficult. I'm shaking. Trying my hardest not to heave. Clara, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me that medics were in this much danger? You're not coming back, right? Or you're coming back, right? You're coming back, right? Please come back. I wish you'd never left. Indiscriminately. She didn't mean you, right? There are hundreds, thousands of medics out there, but the tears happen automatically, uncontrollable, countless. She looked like me. Why? I knew that this was possible. I knew that you might not come back. But why did I just assume you would? Indiscriminately. It hurts. Clara. Anna? Kira looked at me with concern. I feel too ashamed to even look her in the face, so I turned my back to her. There's no reason why she should be seeing me like this. Anna, are you okay? No, I'm not. The words are stuck in my throat. Anna? I'm sure it wasn't Clara. There was more shuffling from behind the bedroom door. I shouldn't have said anything. Anna, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of people just like Clara who are all going to come home safely. The words hardly mean anything to me. Did you know no? Is this how she wanted to tell me? I spent 100 conspiracies in my head, all of them telling me that Clara is gone. Help. Someone, anyone. Clara puts her hand on my shoulder. The touch makes me jump. Clara lifts her hand away. Sorry, I should probably get back to it. She sits back down at the console, waiting a few moments before continuing her work. Lie down on the cold floor. Tears make little pools on the top of my closed eyelids. Clara, I'm scared. What is it I'm supposed to do? Whenever I'd get like this, you'd always just thump me on the head and say, don't think about it too hard. And then suddenly it all makes sense. Clara, are you doing okay? Are you having your favorite tea? Are they treating you right? I'm sure that your efforts are helping, and that will turn the tide, but please write me back. I don't know which direction is the right one. I imagine the look on your face when you get my letters. I remember you always told me that I had the silliest little smile. I never told you that yours looks exactly the same. Start to hear Curious voice from across the room. Station 45 East. Telephone exchange, Station 45 East. The center voice tops my cascading thoughts. Confirming installation of AW-1054 multiplexer. Do you read? Please send test transmission. There's a satisfying timbre to her voice, like putting together a puzzle. Please. Curie takes a deep breath, takes the heads off, and stands up and paces around the room slowly. She looks through the window, removing her cap, running hands through her hair. She gives me an occasional glance throughout her paces. She doesn't have to worry about me. I'll be fine. She sits back down at the console. Transmission received. Station 45 East. Requesting diagnostic telegraph. Machine whirs loudly. Metallic pings cutting through the sounds of the room. A thin slip of paper with words stamped out onto it comes out from the teletypewriter. Curie doesn't seem to react. She stares at the paper. Normally I'd be assuming to see something new like this, but I can only think about how Clara would have thought about it. Would have. My stomach draws her to think about that word. Would. I wonder how many would-haves you had in mind. What would we have done in the past week if you were here? It could have been a fun vacation for the two of us. Station 45? Telegraph received. Stand by. I hear her unplug it from the monitor. She hastily dials another number, then plugs back in, biting her fingernail. Maybe she was rushing through this to get home sooner. I'd probably do the same. It's me, Courier. Yes. Yes, certainly. Tonight? A conversation with the HQ. That hotel is, but She sighs. I'm not sure if it's out of frustration or something else. Understood. Thank you. Goodbye. She stops, looking up at the crack in the ceiling. There's a look in her eye I've never seen before. Actually, one last thing. Starting immediately, I'm resigning from my position at Alkaline. So pleasure working with you all. Goodbye. She takes the headset off, almost throwing it, then leans over the desk, her face buried in her hands. I immediately get to my feet. Trying to study my shaky legs. Courier? Before I could say anything, she rushes away from the switchboard. And wraps her arms around me. She's so warm. Although this is the first time I've ever been this close to her, somehow it doesn't feel strange at all. It's like she'd been there all my life. I put my arms around her back. It feels like the right thing to do. I smell the dust and chemicals that stain her coveralls, the marks of hard work. I bury my head in her chest a bit more. The sounds of her heartbeat, something about that steady rhythm calms me. A constant in a world of inconsistencies. Did she really quit for me? The thought makes breathing really cold. Over these days, I found myself secretly wishing she wouldn't have to leave. And now, she doesn't have to. The worries that plagued me are being washed away with every beat of her heart. A sound I could listen to forever. Anna, I hope this is okay. I find it a little funny she'd even worry. I feel there's been some sort of telepathic contract already signed between the both of us the moment we hugged. So, of course, it's okay. She holds me a little bit tighter. A snuffle from her. The teary kind. I'm happy you're here. I'm happy you're here too. You know, I'm sure Clara's fine. I'm sure you're scared. But if it helps, I can stick around for a little while. But really, it's fine. I almost asked another question, but I let it go before it spoils the moment. Maybe things don't have to make sense all the time. Fade to black. Courier stuck around for the night. She seemed really happy to keep me company. We talked about our lives and upbringings. I enjoyed learning about her. She'd really never been so willing to share anything about herself. I could tell she was really committed to the professionalism. But once that was all cleared out of the way, I no longer saw Courier as the alkaline representative, just as a girl who gave really nice hugs. Among one of the many things we talked about, I learned why Courier asked me about my family. I learned that Courier was from a small town in the Eastern Alliance. Her father was a farmer and her mother stayed at home. She was an only child. Like for everyone else, the war turned things upside down. Her father was drafted into the military and her mother was forced to make ends meet on her own. But one day, her mother fell ill. She was unable to work, and the family was forced to sell their farm. Courier dropped out of school to help her mother. She had to grow up fast, but it wasn't enough. Her mother passed away a few months later. Courier was left with nothing. She fled the country and came to Gamut to find work. To find anything else. She had lied about her age to get a job at Alkaline. And I think the fact that she was a girl, it was something she kept to her closest peers. I always thought that she was a little bit older than me, but she's actually the younger one. She feared that if she told me too much, it might compromise her ability to keep the job. I guess now it's not something she has to worry about anymore. I think Courier saw me as someone similar to her, someone who had also grown up fast. Someone who had to be strong. Me, I've never had to worry about money or food. I've never had to worry about parents. I find it fortunate that they're not objects of concern for me. I've had it comfortable my whole life. I've never seen much scarcity or hardship. I've never had to worry about much at all, really. Courier seems to think otherwise. She believes I'm much stronger than her, that I'm able to endure so much that she can't. For now, I guess let's just settle on that. If it makes her happy, I'll pretend to be strong too. Yuno was mysteriously silent after telling that story. We found out that she escaped through the window of my bedroom sometime during the night. She didn't end up breaking anything, but she did leave the plate of food empty. Something told us that we wouldn't be seeing her again. I felt a little bad for her. I'm amazed she didn't escape from that window sooner, dude. Like, all the windows on that place, I'm pretty sure are not lockable. Or if they are, I'm pretty sure, Anna forgot to lock it before she, was locked in there, that girl. I felt a little bad for her. For as unhinged as she was, it was hard to stay angry at her, now that I knew what she had been through. Hope that she finds what she's looking for. Life is back to its usual slow pace again. Courier's here to help me while you're gone. When you come back, let's all have tea together. I'll be waiting warmly. Hello, girl. Oh, a continent in the world of inconsistencies. Sisters. Yeah. Oh. A mailbox in the grass outside Anna's home. A piece of paper is tugged along by the wind, almost but not quite making it out of the mailbox. The wind lets up a little. The paper returns to the bottom. Left to face the sun and the elements. Small girl and tall girl. Consider this a notice, or rather a warning. Rabbit Zero will end the world. No one knows her better than I do. Rabbit Zero is going to kill us all, and we won't ever know why we're dying. When we are vaporized, when we are melting into the concrete, why we are screaming for anything but our painful ends. Who really keeps us safe? Who really understands us? Is it our lovers, our parents, our friends, our siblings? No. According to many, it's the smooth chrome barrel of a rifle. For the blood being for the blood being shed every day on the battlefields of our very country, we cannot but sit and sob in our hands every night, wishing for any type of meaning. It's great to be patriotic. I live for my country, and unfortunately, many seem to think that this also implies that I will die for it too. This patriotism is nothing but a manufactured ideal, one made to drive the profits of every bigwig who understood that forming steel into weapons secrets would guarantee their spot in heaven. This exerting of power, born at the dawn of our industrial age, eventually formed into a repugnant project to craft the next leader of the world, the perfect little girl, a universally understood symbol of good. And for the things they did to her, I will see to it that their heads are mounted above my fireplace. There are a lot of scribbled outwards here. Surely you understand what Rabbit Zero has told you in your dreams. I saw the looks on your face when I told you about them. I know you know. She's tried to exclaim from the top of her lungs to all living beings the torment she's endured and continues to endure. Now, notice I said continues. Rabbit Zero is being held by NP. I'm a pool of water underground. Or in a pool of water underground, and little do they know, this is the only stopgap. The fucking idiots over there think that there's something to be gained from her flesh and bone, some kind of magical properties. I think you understand what they want to be magical. Just a sprinkle of her power for what? Control? Is that all they really want? Is that all that anyone ever wants? She's living every single day with oil in her lungs and every crevice of her body. Can you feel her? Can't you understand her? To live every single day as an abomination when all you wanted was to finally be accepted? I can't tell you what I plan to do, but just know that this will certainly be the last time you ever hear from me. You know, Moonbeam. Oh, you know, Moonbeam. You silly, silly girl. I mean, she somehow had that letter handwritten and then put it in her mailbox. Oh. Oh, that's the end of the game. What are the extras? Epilogue. Fools who don't heed warnings. Alright. Come on, come on. I'm coming, I'm coming. I could barely hang up the last call of the day before she was already pawing at my desk. And now she's stringing me along by the arm. Courier had been acting strange all day. I guess this is it. A surprise to cap off the day. Honestly, it's hard not to smile when she's like this. I haven't yet been able to get a word out of her about where we're headed. She insisted to be a secret. Whatever it may be, I know that Courier keeps her standards high. For that reason alone, I should be excited too. She would make a big deal out of something that didn't warrant the enthusiasm. We're making it down the path we always take, the only path I know, but not on my bike this time. In the absence of Courier's company truck, my bike had become my sole way to get around. I've been using it to run errands for both of us. Courier's not yet managed to convince me that letting her ride on the back is a good idea. It's not a vehicle they're used to, it's the excuse she seems to accept. On the grounds of safety we can agree. It's not the actual reason. Truthfully, I want to preserve my alone time. Errands are my only remaining solidarity endeavor. That time is invaluable to me. More so now that it's hard to come by. I will try to keep it that way, even if it involves a little subterfuge. It's been a while since I've been on a walk, and I'm surprisingly winded. However, curious to march on Eversley with the goal in sight. I do my best to keep up. I'm not sure how long we have left to go. I'm about to start complaining about it when we take an unexpected turn off the path. My curiosity takes a turn too. It's not a cause for concern. I've always felt comfortable with her sense of direction. It's stronger than mine. I don't mind being lost with her if it comes to that. I'm sure we'll find our way back. We're walking through the woods now. The trees are tall and dense, greenery. Soon all these colors will be gone with the setting sun. The path opens to a large clearing, a small patch of grass in the middle of the woods, and a handful of logs scattered around. Kira stops in her tracks, letting go of my hand. Oh, wait. She turns to me with a smile. Okay, we're here. Here. In the middle of a forest clearing, I look around, but I don't see anything of note. It's just a clearing. I look back at Courier. What are we doing here? Courier looks around, as if expecting something to appear. The surprise is late, figures. Then we'll start to kill some time. Okay. We're expecting someone. Someone else is coming. I look around again, but I don't see anyone or anything. I heard that the forest is a dangerous place, that there could be mines and stuff. Not wanting to think of such unpleasant things, I try to focus on the present. I don't know how it works in the city, but it's pretty much expected that there should be a 30-minute buffer around any scheduled event. It's not so formal of an event per se, but still, it's just common courtesy. I guess I'm used to things being on time. If you're just a few minutes late in my line of work, chances are someone's upset with you. I don't think you need to worry about that here. I'm not upset. Well, there's a certain someone I'm upset with. Give me the Maillard? Ah, it doesn't feel right to be idle. Well, you better get used to that feeling. We're in the middle of nowhere after all. The world moves at a different pace for Courier. I guess that's what the world is like for someone from the city. I'm not sure if I could imagine living in such a world. Courier paces around. I sit down on a log. So, mind letting me in on the surprise already? Courier makes a hushing sign over her mouth. I told you, it's a secret. I don't like being kept in the dark. Could I at least get a hint? A hint. I suppose that's okay. I wanted to bring you here. I've been wanting to bring you with for a while now. Okay, sorry, that I think it's a proper sentence, yeah. It's it could be considered quite eye-opening. If you want to do something weird to me, I don't think you had to go through all the trouble of taking me out to the woods for it. I'm not gonna do anything weird to you. I feel a flush across my face. Not sure if I feel embarrassed or angry. So someone else is going to do something weird to me. Great. Curie gets close, putting her finger down on my nose. It's not like that, silly. I see a smirk flash across her face, despite her best effort to hide it. Stupid. Hey, yo! Before I can respond, a voice calls out from the distance. Hey, it's the Maillard lady. Mailman. She appears from out of the brush, dressed in her regular uniform. Hey, Millsy. What up? They dap each other up. What is this, a secret meeting? Seeing Maillard in the woods like this, something seems off about it. It's an environment no male person should be found in. You're late, Mills. Huh? Oh, right. I was supposed to be here on the dot, huh? Well, I got caught up in some stuff. Yep. Had some big wigs come in today and make a bunch of demands. They sure know how to keep the machine greased and running efficiently. And that meant giving big sis Maillard a bad time this afternoon. They're just some letters, you know? I don't know why they have to be so uptight about it. Yeah? All the backbreaking work finally catching up to you? You wouldn't know it, unemployed girl. Even for a working gal like me, it's tough. There's a lot of pressure recently. I'm not sure if I can keep up. Right. Anyhow, I'm here now. Let's get this party started. Mary starts digging through her bag, but stops to look up at me. But Anna here's too. I didn't know she liked doing this kind of stuff. What kind of stuff? Like going out into the woods and stuff and smoking. Smoking? I don't smoke. I look at Courier, and she looks at me with a smile. Is this a surprise? She points at the top of my dome. Smart cookie. You've been doing this kind of thing with the mailman? Courier laughs. I've been doing this kind of thing with the mailman a few times. I heard that smoking is bad for you. It's not, like, I do it all the time. I don't think you've ended up all that well, Maillard. She digs in her bag, leaving a small baggie of green. What the fuck is this turn? She waves it in front of me. Wanna try some? I look to Courier. It'll be fun. I don't know. Isn't that illegal? Not to worry, little Anna. This is a new strain, you see? It's not regulated. I don't know what that means, but I doubt the military really knows the difference. Oh. Maillard wraps her arm around my shoulder. Eep. Now, Anna. Don't be such a square. There have been times all throughout history where the law has been wrong. In those times of injustice, it's our duty as citizens to act as conscientious objectors, to stand up to law and say, no, this is wrong. Not to mention, there are plenty of studies that show the benefits of lining up a bowl. It's not just a recreational thing. Ancient people call it medicine. Maillard pokes me in the chest. Basically, all signs seem to point to it being some good shit. I've never seen Maillard so enthusiastic about anything before. I think I'm starting to understand why she's so strange. During our conversation, Courier had taken to Maillard's bag and rolling up some sort of cigarette. She turns to us. A flick of a lighter puts it ablaze. I suppose it makes sense she'd have that kind of thing on her. Here. Still being wrapped all around Maillard, I feel trapped. Courier holds in front of me, urging me to take a hit. It's fun. I just freeze up. I'm snatching out of Courier's hand. Let me show you how it's done. She takes a deep drag, holding it in for a while. Exhale. Some smoke builds out of her nose. New pack loud as fuck. Maillard passes to the Courier. She inhales it too. It was a smoking escape from her mouth, dancing in the air. Clouds of smoke envelops us. A strange ritual. They both make the whole act seem so ordinary. When has she been doing this? And without me knowing to boot. Maybe the mental image I have of her isn't been quite accurate the whole time. Something I can't perceive. The drug comes back around to me. I guess I'll try it too. I flick it around my fingers, trying to find a way to hold it naturally. I burn slowly in my hand, disintegrating to ash. I probably wouldn't want to wait for the whole thing to burn down. You just breathe it in, right? I put it against my lips and do what seems obvious. Something faintly dancing around me, then departing. The smoke lingers around a little before escaping to the atmosphere. I look down at what I'm holding. Thick cigarette. Feel anything yet? I don't think so. Feel a little lightheaded, maybe. I don't know if I'm doing it right. Maybe you didn't inhale it hard enough. I put it back to my lips. I think I was just being too cautious. Maybe the smoke just stayed in my mouth. It needs to go into your lungs. You might feel different, right? This time I breathe it in harder. Smoke billows deep into my body, permeating the entirety of it. It's intense, really intense. I feel in my chest. It feels like a fire. I try to keep it in for as long as I can. The feeling bounces right back, and as I hack out a cough. Oh God. Ugh. Something feels really weird. Ah, yeah, Anna, that's the good stuff. Courier passed me in the back. Doing okay there? I hack out a few more times, wiping my mouth. This stuff kind of smells. It doesn't get into your clothes or anything, does it? Nah, you're fine. I smoke this stuff in the work bathroom all the time. What? Oh! I noticed the Miller's shoes are covered in dirt. She's dressed so nice, and yet, no wait, really at work? She takes the blunt from out of my hand and takes a hit of it herself. She exhales a puff of smoke and then passes it to the mail girl. Heh, Anna rips harder than you, Courier. I'm not trying to kill myself, Maillard. Kill myself? Look at the blunt in my hand. This isn't dangerous, is it? Here, take the blunt back from me. I watched it pass away. It passes between them a few more times. It's dizzying. This strange ritual. Maillard and Courier are still having their conversation apart from me. I'm trying to show what they're saying, or what is even going on. Words are being said, but I can't make them out. My thoughts feel like they're being shouted through a loudspeaker, just bouncing back and forth, echoing across the empty chambers. I have to second guess every one of my movements. Breathe in, breathe out. Fix my hair. Shift my weight on the ground. Where should my hands go? Why is it so hard to move? How long does this usually last? Am I gonna be like this forever? What should I do if someone came by? What if it was someone from Alkaline? What if it was... Seems fun. Oh my god! You know? I've seen this ritual before once. It's usually an act reserved for delinquents, misfits. But isn't this a little out of your ballpark? Why? A little rebel in every sense of the word. I suppose I can only feel solidarity for anyone willing to break the rules. You and your little friends here. She looks at the others, though they seem very invested in their ongoing conversation. I try to look at Courier, silently trying to get her attention with my gaze. Usually you can tell when someone is staring at you, right? Courier, please, over here. Yuno appears next to me and lifts the blunt out of my hand. She holds it to her mouth for much longer than I thought she would, all without flickering. Soon exhales a sizable puff of smoke around my face. The smoke stings my eyes, making me have to squint. This is pretty powerful stuff. Can you grasp the magnitude of something like this? The ability to commune with the spirit world? The ability to meld minds with her? She wanders around the clearing, smoke pouring out of her nose. I guess you wouldn't get it. Let me explain. When I first saw you, I knew there was something different about you. You had this uncertainty in your eyes. It was easy to tell that you were being haunted by something. I think I know what it is. Her presence. Her incredible, mind-numbing presence. It's like a pain you felt your whole life. And with this substance, she raises the blunt, eyeing it over, I feel like I'm in direct contact with her. Ah, but I can tell. You still don't get it. She stops in front of me, looking down. She takes a deep inhale of the smoke, getting closer to me, grabbing my face, and... Smoke fills my lungs. My body feels like it's on fire. I wipe my mouth. Why did she... We're not that similar, it seems. You're lost, swept up in the torrent caused by her torturers. Yearning for a place to be, but having to settle for this. Just one difference between us, one of many. I'm not so okay with mediocrity, with settling for... no, with subpar, but you don't seem to be so bothered. Happy, even. So perhaps I envy you a bit. Living in your own little world without care seems fun, but while you're frolicking around in the forest, I'll be finding her. She's waiting for me, for all of us. I won't forget about you. You remind me of when things were right. She glances at Courier Maillard once again. You're in good hands, naive little girl. Enjoy your time in the sun. Was she real or not? Yo. I think something's wrong with your girlfriend. She's just kind of staring off. She's not my... Anna? You okay? I think I'm gay. What? Drat. You should have gone easy on her, Courier. She can't handle her weed. I didn't know it did that to people. You're a bad influence. What are they even saying? Making out the words is still difficult. I curl up into a ball. The safety position. The vague shape of a person hovers over me and starts getting closer. An embrace. I lean into her. She's warm. Very warm. Why are you so nice to me? This feeling. Why? Her arms tighten around me. I guess I like you. It might as well be the best feeling in the world. I look around. The sun has set. Twilight. A significant amount of time seems to have passed. Kira has her back against the log with me curled up in her lap. It's dark in these woods. I would feel afraid during normal circumstances, but I feel nothing but cozy. Courier? Yeah? I was shrinking out a little. Courier pets my head in place of answering with words, sometimes with the correct response. Don't trip. It's normally chill and stuff. You just hit it too hard. You don't want to end up in the zone. I think I'm in the right zone now. Ah, yeah. I touch Courier's floppy ears, soft. Hey now. I giggle a little, doing worse. I can help myself. I'm completely overtaken by their fluffy nature. In retaliation, Courier embraces me, locking my arms to my side. I struggle, but my strength fails me. I can't reach. No fair. You're like a child. Doesn't look very pleased about that. Our ears are all different, huh? Mallory rubs her ears. Millsy's looks like a puppy. A lot of people say that. I don't see it. It's all that smoking that's stunting your growth. You should stop. Alright, short stack. You're really setting yourself up to be the butt of the joke. What? I'm not that short. You're pretty short. I clap my hands around the top of Courier's ears, making her recoil. Hey, stop it, you creep. I don't stop and Courier has to restrain me again. You're gonna pull them off. I'm not that strong. Come on, just a little. Won't hurt. Courier sighs dismissively. 1, 2, 3, 4. Miller counts her ears. Isn't it weird that we have 4 of these? Well, I couldn't use my headset without them. It's because we're bunnies. I thought we were people. Probably just for show. They can't just be for show. Yours are so fun to play with, and they're bigger too. That's gonna mean something. Maybe they're like antennas. Like, what kind of transmission are you picking up, Courier? Me and Leon both have a laugh at her. Courier retaliates by yanking at my ears like they're joysticks. And these are controlling little brats. Hey. I try to get away from her, but she's got me in a bind. I taste my own medicine. Courier pulls me into her chest, holding me tight. I can feel her heartbeat and a calm device. Even though you yank on them like that, it's not that bad. It has something to do with size, right? You think so? My niece has some pretty big ears, but I can't control her with them like you can with Courier. Maybe we have ears to be cute. Courier snorts a little. I can feel the muffled laugh in her chest. I don't know what's so funny though. I suppose we wouldn't be bunnies if we didn't have them. Not true. We have tails too. Right. You just don't see them because we're always facing the camera. Huh? Wait. Where does your hat go? Oh, it fell off. You should put it back on. You look really weird without it. What? Anyway, let's call this blunt. Fuck it. I wobble out of Courier's embrace, going for Maillard. I don't know if that's a good idea. Maillard passes it over to me. I take him on his hit this time. I blow out smoke, having to suppress my cough just a little. Maximum power, Anna. Scary. This is the power of mids. This epilogue is really fucking weird. Oh, the railway tracks. I just don't know if this is a good idea. Come on, girlie, it's art. A message to the world. Aren't you into that kind of stuff? Into? How exactly am I into this kind of stuff? You know, the phones. It's not the same thing at all. It totally is the same, though. This train will travel far and will exchange its cars with another train. People from far off land will be there to receive it. Isn't that the same? That's surprisingly poetic coming from you, Maillard. I'm a poet at heart. Yeah. Even so, it looks like most people don't have much to say. They just leave it a little simple. I mean, what is this even supposed to say? Tagging, little Anna, tagging. It's an art form. It's not just a symbol. It's a message. If they're messages, I should at least be able to understand them. I can't even tell what half of these strange scribbles are supposed to be. I don't think that's the point. Then I don't think I really get it. It's a message to whoever is able to read it. So, it's like a code for other scribblers. Exactly. It's a way to say I was here. Am I not part of that world? At any rate, I don't know if I'm ready to leave a message to the entirety of it. Even if I do leave a message among the countless others, there's an off chance that someone will see mine in particular. That stray thought could be meaningful to a stranger, not a pleasant thought. An impact like that? No, I should be light on this place. I don't think I have anything to say. Courier shrugs in indifference. That's so. Then, watch and learn. Maillard takes from the bottle she brought and starts to spray paint the train car. Hey, Courier, do we have any moral objections to this? I don't even know if this is a crime. Well, if there's a sliver of a chance that it is, I think we should be careful. Either way, we're not going to get caught. Oh, you sound pretty confident about this. These trains aren't going anywhere for a while. They're decommissioned. This depot is where trains go to die. Oh, graveyard for trains and a graveyard for ideas. What a sad place. Doesn't that kind of defeat the point? Hey, maybe so. I don't know if Millsy is in on that fact. Let her have fun. I guess so. Miller finished her work, taking a few steps back to admire it. She ponders it for a while, lining herself with an affirmative murmur. I don't get it. It's a little hard to read. I don't think I can put it into words. It's a feeling of being here with my best friends and being free. That's kind of nice. I feel a spring in my step. I decide to start walking down the rows of train cars. My eyes wander around ruin. For some reason, I think of that pitiful girl. I wonder if she ever would have appreciated this place. After she left, the scary nightmares I've been having seem to have stopped. I wonder if that was a coincidence. It was strange earlier. It was like a different kind of nightmare. One where I was still awake. I was just frozen in place. I couldn't move or speak, and she was there too. I look back. Courier has been following me this whole time. Wandering off, just felt the urge to walk. You normally walk off when you're thinking about something. I guess so. Want to share? Maybe. Topic of the discussion? You know Za Moonbeam. She'd be mad if she heard you say that, you know. Well, she's not here, is she? It's just us in a train graveyard. That is her name, right? I think so. Unless she was just using some kind of alias. You still worried about her? That terrorist? The image of her seems to have stuck around. It might be best if we forget about her. I think I need closure. As for her whereabouts, my guess is as good as yours. I'll have to get revenge on the world or something. Even though all she did was make threats, I can't help but pity her a little. I don't think she's a bad person. She was covered in blood and bandages, Anna. It's not something that just happens on the job. I don't usually have proof, but I think that was just her own blood. She was trying to get away from something, and she did what she had to do. She did what she had to do to survive, or so I think. I think we all have our version of that, trying to get away from something, trying to survive. That's what I thought too. Getting revenge on the world seems pretty petty though. Isn't it better to live in spite of hardship? What meaning is there in destroying yourself in the name of justice? A fire like that burns out too quickly. Without a purpose, it just becomes a destructive force. What makes you say that? I don't know. I just have a feeling. It's rare to hear couriers say something like that. She usually keeps her thoughts to herself. I wonder if it's the drug that's making her more open. Yo guys, Miller appears behind us. Huh? Going somewhere? Oh, no. Oh, okay. Hey, did you guys hear about the terrorist attack? I don't really listen to the radio. Anna doesn't like it. So this is a big attack, right? Somebody blew up a grain silo, some sort of gas explosion, not an accident. They said the rivers ran red for a whole day and stuff. Oh, they said the perp was some girl, but they say a lot of stuff on the radio nowadays. Wow. I wonder why someone would do something like that. Anyways, you guys seen my awesome tag? Yeah, you showed it to us. Oh, then you get it, right? The profundity? Right. Kurt looks deep in contemplation. All of that stuff about having an impact. I guess if nobody ever will see it, you can just say whatever you feel like, huh? Now you're getting it. Miller extends the can to me. Do your worst. If I did leave a message, I'd want it to be someone specific. Someone who'd understand. Is there such a person? Claire and I understand each other, but we didn't need to do something like this. I don't even know what I would Claire tell. I don't even know what I would tell Clara if I had the chance to. We always communicated in actions. What would you write, Courier? Well, I think Post would write a scream from the heart or something. What does your heart say? It's pretty quiet these days. I'll take another sip of water. Well, here's my stop. This is it. The post office. Family business. I'm the only one left to take care of it. There's an apartment upstairs. It's good enough for the big sis Maillard. At least the commute is short. Haha. Laters. See ya. Oh, that's interesting. Maillard waves goodbye and starts stumbling over to the door of the post office. She feels with the key to the front for a while. Once Millsy finally gets inside, I feel somewhat relieved. Even Maillard has something she wants to protect, huh? Kira looks at me with a smile. Yeah, that's a good thing to have. No need to point fingers. Hey, Anna. Yeah? Millsy didn't have her hat. Oh, maybe she had a spare at home? Oh, she left her hat at the campsite? What the fuck is this, stream time? What do you mean? It's good old 1 a.m., Lemon. I think I started at 11. I don't usually go to... during the day, I'm usually doing stuff with my family, so I figured this is best time, if any. We take the path back to our home. It's a long walk without the bike. Even the rising sun seems to be tired as it brightens the sky behind us. I've really messed up my sleep schedule. The urge to crash the second I get home is hard to resist. My mind seems to wander to practical places when reality is at the most surreal. Maybe it's longing to get a grip on things. I keep seeing and hearing things I can't explain. Courier said it's hallucinations and that they're a normal part of the experience. That really makes me not want to do it again. In fact, right in front of us is a shape that looks just like... Oh shit, it's Twin Tails and Helmet! The twins? I rubbed my eyes. This is an hallucination, right? Good morning, officers. Oh, courier. She hadn't met them yet. She opens politely as we cross paths. Good morning. I'm not just seeing things. I know I'm not. Unlike with earlier, these two are very real. The fact I hadn't seen them in a while made me think that maybe they would have deployed elsewhere. I don't know why I'm so surprised. I knew that they were stationed here in the past. I just didn't think. In Courier, she has no idea what these two are capable of. She keeps walking forward to her home, oblivious of the danger, but I can't move. Dead silence, their eyes locked on me. Of course they'd recognize me. I was the one who got away. They'd probably even have a bounty on my head. What? Do you need something? Courier, noticing I've stopped, turns around. Hey, Anna, you coming? All of a sudden, the safe haven of the countryside seems like a prison. The twins are here. They know who I am. They know what I've done, and they know that I know. They're going to take me in for questioning. They're going to take me away from the courier. And my job, my home, my life, just forget it. Carry on, citizen. Huh? I'm sure you have somewhere else to be, no? Don't bother us with your problems. What? What just happened? Time seems to resume. I can move. Without any further thought, I turn around and run to my safety. The girl in front. Lemon said, why are you playing this instead of the Lego City? I wanted to play a visual novel, and I did start this, and I wanted to finish it. We're out of range. I can breathe again. I keep turning around to make sure they're not following me. What's up with that? They scare you or something? I can't even look at Courier. I just keep walking. Anna? I don't know what to say. I don't know if I should tell her. Hey, it's okay. Hold on. I take a deep breath, and take off into a sprint. The twins tense up, instinctively reaching to ready their weapons as I approach at high speeds. I stopped just short of them, my heart pounding. Ahem, really? You guys are just gonna let me go? So stay back. No. I mean, I don't want to be a bother, but I thought you guys were supposed to be looking for me. I've been kind of worried sick about it, and now we're going to pretend like it never happened? I mean, what do you want us to do? Arrest you? I mean, yes? No? I don't know. I want closure. I don't want to be a criminal for the rest of my life. I seriously hate it. Well, we don't have the resources to be chasing down every little vagrant. Don't be so full of yourself. Huh? I thought you were going to ask me, like, what are you doing here or something? Or ask about what happened to your squad member. She hasn't come back, has she? If you're going to forget about me, are you going to forget about Yuno too? Yuno? We would never forget about her. She's an invaluable asset to our unit. She's a good medic, believe it or not. One time in the field, she saved Alice. It was just an accident. I really thought you were going to die, I was scared. I was scared that I would lose you. We couldn't forget about Yunoza. Not after that, but you're just some girl. No offense. You want your closure? I'll say it again. You're free to go. But next time you cause disturbance, we might not look the other way. Now move along, citizen. We have work to do. Damn. But Lego City, I'll finish it someday, Lemon. I promise. I need to get a controller, which I keep saying, but I also don't have a job currently, so. You go now, later, ho. Alrighty, Lemon, enjoy the rest of your night, buddy. Sleep well. Twin Tails take a step in the other direction, grabbing her sister by the arm. I'm sure you do too. Come on, Alice. Let's get out of here. Ha. You two are ridiculous. I can't believe you guys are supposed to be the law. I don't know why I thought you guys were so scary. I don't even know where your own squad mate is. Good luck finding me again, because I'm not going to tell you. What the heck was that? Just a couple of lost kids. Dude, I want to know what happened to her sister. I explained the situation in Courier to the best of my ability. Considering what we'd already been through, I don't think she was too surprised. She just looked relieved that I was okay, and that maybe I was finally free of the past. I would like to think so anyway. We walked the rest of the way home in silence. I had a lot to process. The grasses sway in their own rhythm, the wind blowing through them. The sun crests the horizon, warming the air around us. The world wakes up, and I just feel so out of sync. My worries have been replaced with idle thoughts, the routines of normal life, the things I have to do tomorrow, a floor to sweep, a pile of laundry to do, a meal to prepare, disorder being made into order over and over, the things I have to do day after day. When you think about things that way, they seem to lose their meaning. Hey, courier. Yeah? Are you bored here? Bored? How do you mean? Well, that's something I have to do. It's more or less my purpose in life. These switchboards means a lot to me. I want to make sure that people can reach each other. You used to have something you had to do, but now you don't. I don't know what the countryside has to offer you. I don't even know if you're happy here. Is this really what you want? I'm sure there are lots of paths for you in life. You could be a doctor or a teacher or even a postman. Maybe I should apply for a job at the post office. Ha 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 ha. I'm serious. I'm serious too. I think I'd be good at it. And it'd be fun to kick it with Milliard. Curry looks at me with a smile. Is she even taking my words seriously? I'm not bored, Anna. This is scarcely a moment with you that's dull. Or there is scarcely a moment with you that is dull. Especially when you get wrapped up in the government trouble. Well, I guess that's true. You know, I made a decision. And now after soaking it for a bit, I can't see myself anywhere else. Really? You could go anywhere. You have skills. That's true. There are a lot of things out there, a lot of places to go, a lot of things to do, but I don't think I want to go anywhere else. I've seen lots of places, and right now, I think this is the right place for me. Things could get hairy, of course. There might be a time where we have to leave this place, but maybe we'll move to the city. Maybe we'll move down south, like the secretary said. You've always wanted to see the beach, right? If I had to see myself somewhere else, well, I guess I'll just have to change once more. I know you can do it too. You have adapted a lot to be without Clara. That couldn't have been easy. Anyway, for now, I'm happy to be here, spending my days with you. Yeah. She said we. Hey, say something or I'll feel weird. I think you're right. We can make it work. Good. Kira placed her hand on my head. Then, there's no problem. God, this music's kind of calming. The end? Dude. I want to know what happened to Clara. It's either one of two things, because like said, medics died. A lot of medics died in the war, so she's either dead, or they confused her for a general, so her sister became a general of the army. Those are like the two outcomes, but it's an open ending on what happens with her sister. Like Anna and them, they get a happy ending. Anna and Aaron get a happy ending, but we don't know anything what happens to Clara. Oh, okay. Well, it's about 1 a.m. I do believe I should probably end it here. But I did enjoy the game quite a lot. Look forward to maybe another visual novel, or maybe I'll finish Lego City Undercover for Lemon, who's to say. But I do have quite a few visual novels that I do want to get to. But for now, guys, I do want to say thank you for stopping by. I hope you guys did enjoy. Thank you, Lemon, Hammy, and Charles for showing up. Please check out the main channel for some edited content. I do release this video every Monday, and I do have some videos on the back burner that I eventually need to bunker down and edit to have some different content for you guys. Please check out the main channel for please check out the main channel for the VODs when they disappear off of Twitch. And yeah, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow, or whenever I do stream again. Laters.